What is up, everybody? This is Ethan Klein coming at you live from Los Angeles, California, home of the world champion Dodgers. Coming at you. That's right. Dodgers are the now back-to-back world champs.
Yay.
Today's episode is sponsored by Monarch Money. Thank you so much to them, by the way. And I will say, the Dodgers won one of the greatest World Series of all time. Game 7, a nail-biter. Wow, what a game. What a game that was, eh?
Indeed, Ethan.
I was watching it by myself. Where I don't know, usually I feel like people were surrounded. Were you guys by yourselves, or were you with other people?
I was with other people.
I was with people for the first half of it, but then I got home and watched most of it alone, except for the very end of the game, last inning. Allie came home and started talking to me, really excited about what she had just done, and I'm like trying to like engage with her. I'm like,
That's great, sweetheart.
it's the last out. Hold on.
Not now.
Yeah, I would usually never do this, but can you give me a minute, please? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just incredible baseball. A big shout out to the Blue Jays. I mean, like
Amazing. They played.
amazing
Fucking
team.
good, man.
And there was like in alternate universes they won.
It
Yes,
was a coin flip. They
Yeah.
absolutely could have won the series.
Yeah.
100%. But like, there was so many, dare I call it, divine intervention of like
Do you dare?
getting the catch, the Pages catch, and then the out at home where Will Smith's cleat was
How
like.
about the ball getting lodged into a fucking wall?
Well, that was Game 6.
That was crazy.
Right, yeah.
And then the guy who in the last inning, when the Blue Jays were about to win, they were like one out from winning.
Yeah.
A dude who's probably one of the worst batters on the team, who's hit one home run the whole season, fucking slams it out of the park.
Miggy Rowe, man, he came in clutch.
Like, who would have thought?
That guy's a hero.
Yeah, fucking A. And then Will Smith to the other home run to fucking give us the lead. I mean, it was just.
The overtime was insane because there was a point where Dodgers had bases full and didn't score, and then finally, when the Blue Jays had someone on first and third, all they needed to score 1 point to win, and that double play.
It was exceptional baseball. It was one for the books, and I'm glad to be a Dodger fan.
And I'll say this: I'm tuning into Dodgers for the first time in a while. You guys know that my dad's a huge fan, and I've kind of, since I've been on my own, kind of just tuned out sports because I feel
You're
liberated.
a rebellious teenager.
I'm liberated.
Yeah.
But I've gotten into the Ohtani.
Ohtani, yeah.
Dude, that guy is fucking legend.
He's
Like not just like obviously a great player. He seems like just such a fucking solid dude.
he is. He really is.
Classy, calm, great disposition, family man.
I will say he was exceptional this season, and then obviously in the playoffs. In the World Series, though, he was like, I was a little surprised by him not
He
doing.
didn't really carry.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
He didn't
did
do
his part
shit in
at
the last
times,
in Game
but-
7. He didn't do shit.
Yeah.
He kind of fucked it for us because he gave us a 3-run homer. But you know what? We still fucking won. He's an amazing.
But I think that's
player.
just a testament to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like even without their star player pulling weight the last game.
Yeah.
And by the way,
It was like all the role players that basically won the game.
Yeah.
Most of the stars, other than Yamamoto, didn't really carry their weight.
Which, by the way, Yoshi Yobonamo. Ah, my God, I can't say his name. Yamamoto. Let's just call him that. Yoshi Yamamoto. He is a fucking ace stud pitcher. That guy is exceptional. Oh my God.
the Japanese guys are really like exceptionally good at
Did you
at
hear
baseball.
about so the pitcher, he doesn't have like a traditional workout regimen. He instead does javelin throwing as
For
a way to
real?
work out his arm.
Throws
I thought that was so
javelins?
interesting. Yeah. He
Well, it's
chucks
working.
javelins.
And he does
That's
like
sick.
aerobics exercises where he does a lot of like mat workouts.
Interesting.
It's a new technique, but you know what? It's working. So
Yeah. I saw this clip of from a previous game. I forget who they were with, but they intentionally, the pitcher threw the ball at Ohtani super hard on purpose. And the dugout was getting ready to spill out. and he was just calling him off. He was super calm.
Oh,
he
I
was
know
cool
what
as
you're
fuck
talking
about
about. I
it.
remember that.
That was during the Padres game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they were
he even went over to their dugout and yucked it up with them. I was like, damn, this guy's fucking sick.
benches cleared the game before that, and even the managers got into it with each other. So he was just trying to keep the peace. But no, he's a fucking stud. He really is a stud.
Gotta love it. Like, he's probably one of the greatest athletes of all time, and he's so humble.
Yes, extremely. And I mean, they call it the greatest game of baseball, which was during the playoffs against
Right.
Milwaukee. 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs.
That's
unheard
so
of.
fun. That is unhuman. How do you do that? The whole game is him. It's like the whole game is just him.
He's an animal. He's a fucking monster. He's the man.
I saw a clip of him back in the Japanese league. He hit a ball so hard it broke through the roof of the stadium.
Oh, shit.
And everyone was confused what happened.
Yeah. No, he's. I'm glad he's
Some
on
anime shit.
It's for real.
because he was on the Angels for 6 years.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and he was doing good, but he's now in a place where he can really do his shit.
Good for him.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Dodgers have a good team there. Obviously, they're spending more than any other team by far. So there's that aspect.
That definitely helps.
But it's LA, baby. Who's paying for that shit, by the way?
the Guggenheim owns the team, and then Magic Johnson I think owns like 3%.
I mean, listen, turned out to be a good investment. The minute that they won the world championship,
yeah.
a commercial ran, get your world championship
yeah.
merch here. I was like,
yeah.
golly, they were fucking ready.
they're always
it's
ready, yeah.
Fanatics. They own like Topps baseball cards. They own lids. They own everything. Every sports.
Well, imagine
merchandise.
they lose, though. That would have been catastrophic for like just the bottom line.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I bought some world champ merch. Hila did.
yeah.
We
Hell
did
yeah,
it. We're
dude.
invested now.
So we should go to a game next season.
Maybe we should.
Let's go to opening day.
I'm gonna be a full Otani simp. I got his jersey.
Oh, Zach,
hat.
getting Ethan really into baseball would be such a hookup for us.
A fucking A, dude. You want to go to the dugout club?
We can get our own box, right? Like you
Yes.
can do that.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Yeah, let's do
yes,
that,
you
dude.
can.
How much does it cost?
You'll get a deal. We'll be fine.
I'm not getting a deal. How much does it cost for real?
A box? I have no idea.
Like a
Well, it
box
depends
for the
on-
whole season?
For a whole season?
Yeah.
Probably more than you got, to be honest.
You think so? I'm just curious.
More than you're willing to spend. I'm sure.
I'd say like 50 grand.
No way.
No.
It's got to be way more than that.
No, because I feel like if you get in like
Up.
what?
You find me the price.
So
if
for
it's 50 grand,
for a whole season, it got to be hundreds.
That's kind of a good deal.
Yeah. For one game, it's 1,000 to 10,000.
So maybe because if for 50,000,
And obviously, that's not going to include playoffs.
Right, that doesn't include.
That's going to
playoffs.
be regular season.
but if we had
Oh,
our
okay.
own box that we could all go to anytime we wanted,
Oh my
and my
God.
family could come, I mean that's fucking epic.
That'd be
should
fucking
do that.
amazing, dude.
yeah, you should totally do that.
Lean, are you here?
You know, in
Okay, you ready? A full year of Dodgers luxury suite costs approximately 10 to 20 million.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
What?
That sounds more
Wait,
correct.
that's luxury.
But you said it's 1,000 per game.
There's a lot
10
of-
to 20 to million.
there's 162 games in a season.
No, but okay, but you're not
And he
referring
said
to the
1,000
10.
to like
You're not talking to the 10,
5,000.
20 million guy, right?
Yeah, there's still quite a gap there. So
That's a lot per game still.
Stadium club boxes. This one says 4,000 to 12,000 per game. A
it
full
probably
season would
depends.
be
There's probably different
approximately
levels. of
3
it.
to 9 million.
We'll do some research. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll
It's
get you
not- it
taken
doesn't sound
care
like it's
of.
anywhere close to 50,000 guys.
I'm thinking millions for sure.
If it's millions, I'm sorry. You guys get your own tickets.
You know what? I'll just take the cash.
All right.
Do they have like
there are-
nosebleed boxes for like super like broke ass people that want to box?
Nosebleed boxes? Probably not.
No,
probably.
I think there's just like one level of boxes.
Yeah.
All right.
You
all right.
find me the cheapest box you can.
You
Go
got
ahead,
it.
Dan.
I have to speak up for the audience. They're begging us to address the title of the episode.
So, yes,
we're getting tomatoed hardcore for not.
Sorry. Well,
not
what? You guys
addressing
don't care about the Dodgers? Sorry, this is a big deal in LA.
Also, real quick, and I'll shut up. But like, there were so many people talking shit in my DMs. Blue Jays fans, you're gonna lose. You're gonna
Wait,
choke.
really?
Yeah, so many fucking
Oh,
people.
shit.
And I was at Game 6. I was like, "Fuck, this ain't looking so good."
Well, Gallia was kind of talking shit in the group chat, and I was like, "Don't count the Dodgers out because they're getting lots of hits. They just weren't scoring, but they
Right.
were very active on the hits."
Right, but I mean, fucking, you can't count out LA, dude.
But anyway, yes, it's true. Gallia corrects. I sent one emoji. No.
That's
He
such
was
bullshit.
talking
Nah,
about.
don't hit me with
You're
one
talking that
emoji.
smack a little bit.
Yeah,
it's
come on.
there's nothing wrong with that.
And by the way, what emoji was it, Galia?
It's important.
yeah, it is important.
Anyway, so I actually spoke with Madison from Cruel World Happy Mind. I was trying to be mature and reach out and talk to her about it instead of like, how's the word, escalating and making things more inflammatory, right? And we chatted. We've been chatting a little bit, and I said, hey, would you like to call in today because we're going to go over the live stream you did when you reviewed she basically, in response to some of the criticisms she was getting from me and others, she went live and reviewed her script and all the sources for it. So I was going to respond to that, and I asked if she would like to join me for that, and she to her great credit, said that she would. So she's going to be calling in, and we'll be reviewing that video together, and I'm going to be yeah. I'm trying to be. And by the way, I'm trying to be. Oh, here, Galia found it. All right. No, you're cutting. You said something, Galia. It wasn't just people walking. I said Dodgers getting lots of hits. Just need good inning to bring them in. Galia, don't get too comfortable.
Jesus.
Well, this wasn't just like Game 7. It
That's
was
almost a threat.
It was throughout the whole
It's
World
almost
Series.
a thought of a threat.
But I will say this got Galia into baseball, so that's pretty cool. So
That is cool.
I mean, listen, if you're gonna get into baseball by anything, this is that's as good as
She
it
was
gets.
repping her adopted homeland of Canada, and as were a lot of Canadians with Toronto. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, apparently all of the viewership must have been pretty nuts because like all of Japan was interested, all of Canada
I am
was
curious
interested.
what the ratings were.
I
it
think
was probably very high.
this
had to-
was the highest watched World Series since 2017. Is what the
How many? How do you have? Did they say how many?
Let me find out.
Good for baseball.
It beat the Super Bowl this year. Had more
No-
viewership than Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually huge.
That's insane.
The fuck?
I went on Instagram right after they won, like 4 minutes after, and already had 600,000 their
Wow.
winning announcement. 600K in 4 minutes.
That's badass.
Kind of crazy.
But also the fucking Nike ad that they put out immediately after we won, that was
Mhm.
pretty badass.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for the Dodgers. I'm happy for baseball in general. They made some 25.5 million viewers on Fox, making it the most watched World Series game since 2017. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm happy for baseball in general because I feel like there was a time when baseball popularity was waning hard, and then they changed the rules to make the game more
Yeah, you have
faster paced, which has been fantastic for the
best
watcher.
change ever for sure.
you have the pitch clock, but also is like as a Dodger fan, like we were in the World Series in 2017, 2018. We lost both times.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just prepared for that heartbreak again.
But they won last year.
We won last year, right? But something about them losing when they're in the World Series,
Yeah,
it's hard.
I feel bad for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
That stadium was fucking crickets.
yeah.
When every
It's
time there
rough.
was a home run or the double play or any great play at
Yeah.
home plate, it was almost confusing because
yeah,
the TV was so quiet.
yeah,
I was like, did anyone see that?
yeah. That there was. I saw on Instagram there was like a decibel meter of when Miggy Rowe hit that home run to tie.
It was dead quiet,
Way
dude.
down.
I didn't watch the game, but I live downtown now, and oh my god, it was fucking insane. It was in nonstop fireworks.
Really?
It was.
Oh my God.
Was there rioting?
My dumb ass
Yeah.
went outside, and I was like, "Yeah, go Dodgers! This is cool." I walked to the corner, and I swear to God, all these cops with riot shields were like
Yeah, I
running
don't
towards
know.
me. I'm like, "Fuck
Welcome
this!" I
to
went back
downtown,
inside.
baby.
Yeah, it was
I-
crazy. Fireworks, everything.
I was stuck in the middle of two intersections, being fully like they were taken over and cars were drifting around.
Oh,
And
shit.
The whole street was just parked. So everyone was out. I went out of my car, walked around a little bit,
yeah.
and this fire truck comes by and it stops in the middle of the intersection. Everyone jumps on the fire truck
my
and
God.
rides on it. They looked really epic. They were like holding the big flag, standing on the fire
Dodger
truck.
flag?
Yeah, and the fire truck starts driving, and he's just like standing like this with the
Oh,
flag.
man.
So sick. It looked cool, but like really get on a fire truck. That's kind
Listen.
of crazy.
That was a crazy moment.
Yeah.
That was big. That was big. But anyway, enough about the Dodgers. But the next season's going to be hype as fuck because they can go for a three-peat,
Dude, fucking, that'd be insane.
which would be the only time other than the Yankees who did a three-peat once, like 50, 60 years ago or something.
No, they did a three-peat. It was 98,
In the 90s.
99, and 2000. But also in the 30s, they went, I think, like 37, 38, 39, and 40 in a row.
They did 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Jesus.
They have 27 championships.
Where are they at now?
They haven't won since 2009.
Yep,
So,
exactly. Sorry, Gabe.
I think they still have the most, though, don't they?
27 championships.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about them. I want to, before I get on the call with Madison, there's a few things I want to do. One is tell you guys to go check out our Halloween special, which dropped. And it was such an eventful weekend. Halloween was on Friday. Everyone have a good Halloween. I did. I had a really fun time.
I just watched the game. Did you go trick or treating with the boys?
Obviously, right? That was that.
What was everybody?
Oh, we were all dinosaurs like always.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Teddy had this giant brontosaurus, the thing with like a pump that blows it full of air, but it was so big, and the back of it just dragged. It was the craziest thing ever. I felt bad for him because it's so hard to walk around in that thing. But Brucey was this cute little dinosaur, and Sun was a little like bug. It's a sun
Cute.
bug, cute. And we went to our favorite neighborhood, and the kids they're happy. They got a good haul.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a good time out there.
Nice.
So that was good. And right, let's go to videos. So if you go to H3 Podcast, our video is out now, guys. This is on you. You better roll in here and watch it. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm never doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is the
serious.
best one we've done by far. And I mean, obviously, Tamara did an incredible job
Yes.
editing it and adding.
She killed it. I loved her little editor's notes throughout it.
Fantastic. Tamara, well done. Everybody was happy. But it's actually just, it's eventful. It's fun. The whole thing is really good. I enjoyed the whole thing. So go watch it. And watch it again.
We have a
I
trailer.
feel
We
like
have a
this
trailer.
video-
We have a trailer. We have a trailer. You're
Oh, we have
opening the
a
video.
trailer.
We have a trailer.
So anyway, I'm just showing them. But ghost hunting in the Queen Mary at 3 a.m. Not actually at 3 a.m. Clickbait, did you?
Oh, no.
Clickbaited you.
Wow.
More like 7 p.m. Not as scary, is it?
Not really. It's scary.
It was dark, you
For
know.
the most part, yeah.
Tamara made a trailer if you need any convincing to go watch it. So here it is.
So really quick, just make sure you say hello.
What starts as a fun night of laughs quickly takes a turn.
What's the name of that one demon that's called Zed?
Stop that. Blah, 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 blah. We're not doing that.
When one man calls out to a demon
Zuzu, are you here?
and gets a response.
All right, we got to go.
Just be quiet. How hard is it?
Zuzu's revenge.
This shit was so funny.
Zuzu.
Love was I didn't know about Zuzu, but
yeah?
apparently I don't know what's the story, but Love knew about this, and our guide got freaked the fuck out when he mentioned Zuzu.
Yeah.
and it was so goddamn funny.
Shout out to Zuzu. He came and visited me the other day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Is he chill in real life?
Friendly.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Yo. What'd you guys do?
Just playing video games. Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
That's cool. Fuck yeah. It was honestly so fun. Everybody was super funny. Everybody had great moments. It was fantastic, and I hope you guys will go enjoy it. I feel like this video is it should have like 1 million views. You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't this have as many views as Shane's? It's funnier. it's better. We're better, more charismatic.
You're not as popular as Shane Dawson.
He's not that popular anymore.
I gave my back for this video. I risked my back for this video.
You're back?
Yeah, when I threw myself down the stairs.
Oh.
You
knew
threw
what you
yourself
were
down the stairs? I thought that you got stunned by the light
Well,
and
when Zuzu
accidentally
got me,
fell down the stairs.
Zuzu got me. Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, go check it out. It's really a good one. So that's what we did. Yeah, we toured the Queen Mary which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places on earth. That was Shane's big video where they did like a touring the Queen Mary. So that's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So we were finally able to book the tour and to do it. And I also want to shout out our wonderful. So we had two tour guides. The first tour guide, Matthew, had this horrible tragedy happen during the tour where his dog passed away unexpectedly. So everybody was sending their kind wishes to Matthew. And after Matthew came Sam. Both did fantastic, but people were very wanting to send their best regards to Matthew and his dearly departed, beloved pet dog. So I was sad. Oh yeah, and then also before we do the call, one more thing. Ela's here, by the way.
Hi guys, just joined. Yo. Oh, stop it.
Whoa. Is that a new Teddy Fresh vest? Is that new?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
Is that unreleased?
It is out.
Oh, it's out.
And it's a deeply closeted vest. But
Deeply
it's
closeted vest. Is
Nice.
it gay? So it's gay.
No.
Is it a gay vest? You wanted to show some more Teddy Glow, which guys, that comes out this Friday. So look alive.
No, I cannot wait. I cannot
Here's some
wait.
of the lip gloss looks.
I'm starting to like, you know how you feel before a test and like you can't sleep at
Nervous, yeah.
night. Yes, that's from the day that we shot the campaign. That is me on the top left, and then our 3 other models. And I cannot wait to also show. I think tomorrow we're going to post really cool look that we did on one of the models.
Nice.
You
This
know.
is your cellar water, which apparently, for some reason, cellar water is good at erasing ink. I don't know how it works. Personally, I find the whole thing bizarre.
I don't think it's bizarre at all.
Well, why are you using cellar water? Or just
Oh, wait. Yeah, I can attest to that now because I used some of that water to get off the blue
Oh, did you?
Avatar paint the other day.
You use cellar water?
Yeah, we had a bottle of it to help remove makeup.
So Ela had this this really awesome what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Implementation?
What are you trying to say?
Implementation.
Oh.
Implementation of the cellar water in action. Very cool.
And what were you talking about?
I was saying the cellar water is coolly implemented.
Into the product?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I've been really excited to see the response. People seem to think so as
People
well.
have been asking for prices. Is that something you're prepared to put out there yet?
I am prepared.
Oh,
my God.
is it on
Should I do
social?
now?
Is it on social? Well, you should post.
We
on-
haven't shared it yet. We're going to.
You can do it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Teddy Glow.
Let me make sure I look at it so I don't say anything wrong.
People have been wondering the price of everything, guys.
Yeah.
Wonder no longer. It's Teddy Glow. Yes.
It's all free.
Remember, it's free, guys.
Okay, so here it is. So the lip balm is going to be $22.
Wow.
The-
I don't know what's a good price for this stuff. So
I checked. I did a lot of comparisons.
Yeah.
These are good prices for the products. Eyeliner eraser is going to be $29.
wow.
Thank you, Ethan. The plush blush
Yeah.
is going to be $25.
Wow. How do you get that price point?
Thank
How do you
you.
get that?
Yeah.
How do you get?
Amazing.
And then the eye palette is going to be $52.
Oh, hold the phone.
Whoa!
Is that good?
It's good.
That's good, guys.
And then there is going to be a bundle option. where
Bundle option,
you
guys.
can get all the products
All of them.
in one click,
One click.
and Papa's in the house.
Papa's in the house.
Wow.
And that one, instead of, if you were to add it all up, it would be $153. But
That's a lot.
instead, you can get it for $139.
That's great.
Thank
I
you
think
so
a-
much.
I think a lot of people were going to be buying all 4 products anyway, so it's nice
It's
to get them.
technically 5 because the blush has 2 shades.
Whoa! Yo! So wait, so how does that work then? Do they get both blushes?
Yes,
But you get it
because
all.
the 2 shades are universal. You
Different
could
occasions.
you could use both, yeah,
I
for
see.
different occasions, different looks.
Chat says the price is very reasonable.
Thank
People seem to be
you.
happy about the price.
I
That is
spent
great
a lot of
price.
time thinking about it and made a lot of comparisons, like checked, lots of different ranges of brands and what you get for it. And
But you guys know that
Thank you.
Gila made it as insanely high quality as possible. It's
Right.
made in Italy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those Italians, they know. Hey, Italians, I love the Italians.
technically,
your makeup.
yes, it's my same approach that I have for Teddy Fresh. I try to reach for the best quality, but make it at an accessible price.
Yeah. So I'm very excited, guys. Go to teddyglow.com and put your email in.
You don't sound excited. You're just yawning.
What'd you say?
I'm a yawner. People, my whole life, people go, "Oh, you tired?" I'm just always yawn a lot. I don't know for some reason. They say sleepy and horny. No. People say you yawn when you're anxious. Is that I feel like that's actually a thing.
Oh, it totally
kind of a
is.
thing.
I'm not anxious, but I've been in my life. And,
not to relate everything to cousin Tim and Dearborn, but every time Tim's around girls, he busts out one of these and he goes, I'm fucking bored.
but that's
his
just him
line.
being cool.
Fucking
Yeah.
bored. Yeah, that's what cool guys do.
Does it ever work?
Nah, not yet.
They go, "This guy's sick, bro."
We're still waiting for the girl that yawns back.
Look at this comment from our beat 'em ups. Thank you, sir. Good friend of the show. It's too affordable. Can we pay more? He's asking.
No.
Let's increase the price.
Great
Oh,
question.
Let's increase it.
Go. I
You
just
know
watched your
what?
recent video about the Xbox Portable. He was wearing H3 merch in the video.
Great guy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Love that guy.
Honestly, I would rather everybody think it's too affordable and buy it, And that would be a great problem for me.
So when I was 13,
Because you guys
as
know,
you
I talked about it a little bit. Sorry, Nate, to interrupt you. I'm very sorry.
That was really
With
rude,
makeups, the MOQs, minimum order quantity, are very high. So I've been having a lot of anxiety.
Anxiety,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure it goes well.
For the top factories in Italy, they're very expensive, but they also have a really high minimum
yeah.
quantity because
And
they don't
to-
want to deal with schlubs. if
Also
they're-
because we're doing custom stuff, and for custom stuff,
Right.
there's high MOQs. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So buy, please. Thank you. Thank you, please. Habanero Sriracha. Thank you, sir. $50. Thank you so much. Mariners next year. We will get them.
Next year.
We'll
Actually, not. 'cause
congrats, though. West
it's,
Coast, left coast, best coast.
We're
Let's
definitely
go.
going for the Dodgers 3 year in a row.
That'd be
We were
unbelievable.
talking about getting a box for the whole season.
What?
Nate,
Yeah.
who suggested it was 50,000?
I thought it was like 50 grand.
So, and I was like, well, that sounds actually pretty. That sounds great for everybody. But then, so there's a little bit of a
$50 grand for
There's a
one
range.
We've also
There's
heard
ranges,
there's a range because then
it could be as low as 50,000.
and then it might
we should
be
probably
10 to
just do
20
it.
million.
For I saw online for 10 games, 12 tickets, it's $50,000.
Okay, let's see how
10
Teddy
games.
Glow launch
see, that
goes,
makes
you guys, and I might treat you.
Nice.
That'd be unbelievable.
$50,000 for 10 games.
So
And
there,
12 tickets.
there is 4 different types of boxes. There's the Bank of America suite, Stadium Club box, Loge party boxes, and field.
Which is the cheapest?
probably the field party box. But this isn't really a box. Never mind. No. You
What
want
do those cost?
You want the B of A suite. You get 20 to 30 tickets. You get preferred parking.
That's insane. There's 20 to 30 seats in the box.
Wait, but
That's
would
That's going to
you-
cost me a fortune.
Well, I mean, you offered.
You're committed.
Isn't there a cheaper option?
You're
than
committed.
that?
I sent a
Team
link
building.
of the
Team
thing.
building, Ethan. Hello.
Team building.
Team building activities.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, team
yeah.
building. I mean, okay, you want to spend $20 million? I mean, we'd have to.
Listen, I care about my employees.
we
Sorry,
might have
you
to take out a
don't.
loan.
You do what you have to do.
Let's take out a massive loan to buy Dodgers.
It sounds like, I mean, you could always sell it. Yeah.
But would you?
True.
When would you do the show?
We can do it from there.
From there.
Yeah, we
I love
become
this
Dodger
idea.
announcers. I think you're allowed to do that, right? Live
love
stream
this
the
idea.
live
We'll figure
stream
it
the
out.
game.
We'll figure out the legalities
sure.
of it. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Anyway, we're having too much fun here. So that's what's going on in our neck of the woods. Let me thank our sponsor, and then we'll go ahead and get Madison of Cruel World Happy Mind on the line. So let's go ahead and thank our wonderful sponsors over at Monarch
Go.
Money. That's right, guys. Let's start getting our financials in order. You know, it's so important. Do it now. Start putting money in that 401k. Start making investments in the S&P 500 in the stock market. And do it with the help of a organized, fantastic accountant who's very expensive, right? And but actually, you don't have to do that now. With technology, with AI,
Right.
Monarch Money can do all the work of a sophisticated CPA for you to help you budget, plan, and analyze your financial situation. For example, you automatically connect it to your bank account. You log in, you connect it, et cetera, et cetera. So it will automatically itemize all of your spending. And it knows, because it's AI powered, so it learns as it goes from millions of other people using it, how to categorize different purchases. So it's like pretty much 95% accurate.
And it's colorful and beautiful for people like me that hate looking at Excels or lots of numbers and no color involved.
Color. That's not in the copy, but I think that's a good
I
point.
think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, Dan, you connected this to your bank, and you were talking about how essentially you had used a previous one that required you to go through and correct a lot of the categories.
Yeah, I mean, I over the years used several budgeting apps and tried different ones, and they all, supposedly auto sort all of your bank statements into the correct categories, and it sucks. It usually throws things in just the most random places. And when I connected this up, it asked me to verify a couple things that it was unclear on, but yeah, I would say 95% of my transactions, it was just done out of the gate.
That's so great. And so when you start from there, you can see, if you show the flow chart, one thing it can do for you is, can you open the flow chart, Dan? Or
Every single time we do this, you ask me to, and every
Can
time
you
I
open the
remind you
flow
that
chart, Dan?
This is a animation that I have no control over.
Dan, can you go to the flow chart
I'm
part?
not going to open up my
So here's the flow
bank
chart.
statement on the air.
Remember, mark this to memory. So you start with your total income. Then you can see in all the different branches it breaks down. You can see where's all your money going.
Yeah.
Are you
exactly.
spending an ungodly amount on Uber Eats or Postmates or whatever? Are you spending a lot at the bars? You know what I mean? I mean, listen, we all get out there and may have some fun and spend too much money sometimes.
And I know part of your mind is telling you, I just don't want to know. Don't do that. Don't
That's
do that.
one way.
You
but,
gotta know.
Plan
You
for your
gotta know.
future.
You gotta know.
The auto membership subscriptions
That's
kind of
big.
thing, that always gets me. I always have stuff that I forget to cancel.
That's where it pays for itself.
I don't know how to cancel.
Oh, I clicked the button.
Whoop. You may want to
There's
not
buttons
click
on this.
buttons
Did you know
on
that?
the microphone.
Yes, they're called different polarities of the microphone.
How's my polarity?
Which one are you on right now?
I put it back to the same one. The one in
Okay.
the middle. It's
That-
like a heart
okay.
shape.
Cardioid, yes.
That's the one you want?
Yes.
Have you thought about doing a full circle?
That wouldn't be good.
You
Wouldn't
don't
be
want
good.
that. You don't want that.
At any rate, you know what might be good? Because I
No,
feel
no,
like
no.
sometimes
Please.
it's too directional. And I think
No,
it would be
No,
this one.
no,
Just,
please,
just
please.
don't mess with it and talk
Oh,
into your
God.
skipping it.
Oh,
Won't let me
God.
do that one.
Good.
That's where it pays for itself, Hila, is that it, because of the AI and it tracks everything, it knows the occurring subscriptions you're paying and it organizes them all so you can see everything. And like you were saying, there's always ones there that you forget about. Massive spending, massive costs that you end up eating, and
Sometimes I'm too scared to find out. Like Dan said.
and also, well, one of my blocks has always been like, how the F do I even figure out
Yeah.
who I'm paying? It's just like, you go into this, to your bank account, your credit card statement, whatever, and it's just like, I don't even know how to read the matrix
Decode
right now. Yeah.
the matrix. Yeah.
But this is such a great product that I highly recommend to anybody of any financial situation. It's going to help you a lot just to learn your finances, to know where you're spending your money, to make sure you're not wasting money on things you don't need, And best of all, guys, if you use code H3 at monarchmoney.com in your browser, you will get you'll get a half off your entire first year.
Wow.
Yeah.
50%?
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks, guys. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. with code H3. Isn't that fantastic?
That is absolutely.
Thank you so much to our wonderful sponsors over there at
you so much.
monarchmoney.com, code H3.
And also, if I may let people know that we voted.
You voted.
If you guys
Nice.
haven't done so, you can still do it today, right?
Yeah.
Until tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You can vote. You can even vote tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
You vote?
Yeah, I voted like a month.
What'd you
I
vote
feel
for?
like a month or two ago.
What'd you vote for?
Excuse me.
that
That's
don't put
completely
him on the
private
spot,
information.
Ethan.
Yes or no, Dan? It was actually, the ballot was just yes or no.
It's literally one ballot measure. I voted yes.
I voted yes so fucking hard on that
We
shit.
kept putting it off because I thought it would be like a long thing of like researching and stuff, and then I
Right.
realized it was just a yes or
It's
no.
just one. This is
It's
a
one
special
yes or
election
no.
that was called. Yeah. Yeah. This is gruesome Newsom's attempt to.
We're gerrymandering
check
the fuck out of California.
Yeah. In response to Texas attempting to do the same in.
Yeah, it's
Texas.
bullshit.
Which is terrible in both regards. I don't love that we're doing this. I don't think it's good for the country to gerrymander, but I understand
Dude,
having the need to.
we got to.
Yeah, no, obviously.
They're
I voted yes. I'm
They're
saying I
playing
voted
dirty.
yes.
The fucking Supreme Court had the chance to outlaw gerrymandering,
Yeah.
which they fucking failed to do. Can you imagine what a win that would have been for actual real democracy?
That would have been sick.
I'm ready for this election to be over because there's these protesters over the freeway overpass that are there every fucking
Every day, huh?
and they cause traffic, more traffic than there needs to
Wait,
be.
but they're on the
That's
overpass?
enough.
They're on the overpass. There's
How
a
are they causing
bridge
traffic?
Are they?
because
Yeah,
everyone
that's-
stops and fucking honks and like they're
People are
in,
stopping?
They're stopping and honking and they're
Why?
voting yes on Prop 50.
What are they protesting every
They're
day?
just saying vote
No,
yes.
they're just reminding you to
Oh,
vote.
the vote, the
But
Prop 50
it's been
people.
going on for the last 4 fucking months, and there's in these inflatable suits, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
and I'm
they're-
like, don't you have jobs?
that's
like,
their
what-
job, I think.
Like
That might be
someone's
their job.
paying
Yeah,
them,
unironically.
yeah, no, that's their job.
but it causes so much more traffic.
You really think that's I mean, I guess.
No, dude,
People
I'm in it.
rubbernecking.
I'm
It's kind
in
of the
it.
same thing.
He's in it.
I'm
Dan.
I
in
have
it.
to say,
Yeah.
if you're causing traffic, you're not doing a good job for your cause. Because look at Zach; he's
I'm
all
gonna
worked up.
I'm gonna vote fucking no
Exactly.
out of
Exactly.
spite for those
Don't do
fucking
it, dude.
people.
No.
Don't do
Fuck
it.
them, dude. and they're in these like inflatable
You're
fucking
gonna get
suits.
spite voters.
I think it's gonna. It sounds like it's gonna pass big.
Yeah, I think it.
I don't think anybody doubts it's going to pass.
It's so. I mean, it's just great. It's like, fuck you. If you guys want to play that dumbass game, which by the way, California has always been above board with districting. They've always had like their own laws that were super fair. And what is playing fair got us? Nothing. They cheat. They play dirty, and fucking the liberals, the lefties get screwed over. It's the same as always.
Minifin.
Well, maybe not this time.
Not this
Yeah.
time.
Maybe not this.
New boy. My gruesome
Thank you for
Newsom
the 10
says
gifted Gilf Gavin. Nice.
he is a
he's-
gilf.
He's
Wait, is he a grandpa?
Gilf Gavin? He's a friend of the show.
A DILF?
Oh,
Gilf Gavin. Gilf Gavin.
Gilf Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thanks, Gav.
Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get
Okay, 1 second. Let me set up the
Madison here.
Discord call here.
I've got here the, let's see. Where is the link to the Am I Helping? I don't see that.
I was at the Teddy Fresh building and I heard you guys scream. Was
We
that in
screamed?
the beginning?
Oh, for the Dodgers.
For the Dodgers. That
Yeah.
was so loud.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard that, eh?
Did you watch the game too, Ela?
I watched the ending and I'm so happy at least I caught the end.
It was unbelievable.
Because the boy, oh my God. That day, Bruce was having the most annoying day because he's still adjusting to the new medicine, the Keppra.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, the one thing a 3-year-old doesn't need is to be more emotional, more irritated. And
Yeah.
but anyway, I wasn't really able to watch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's.
But I caught the end of the game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think we're ready to go. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah,
All right,
great.
1 sec.
So I'll kind of set. I'll wait for her to to get on the line. I'll kind of just give a. Oh, there she is. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yes. How are you? Madison, right?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, thanks for calling. Nice to meet you virtually.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot. So what I want to do today is essentially review the video you made called Am I Helping? And what you went over your script for the video you made about me. And we can kind of just talk through it, right? And I can express myself, you can express yourself, and we'll see if there's any understandings brought. I'm going to try my best to be respectful. And I want to have a productive conversation, right? So that's my goal here. And
yeah, totally.
And let's see how that one goes. Yeah, I honestly, we could probably just turn off chat because I don't want anyone being rude, or we just turn off chat, Dan.
Okay. Roger.
Yeah, and I really appreciate just having this opportunity to chat, because I think that I don't know, I think a lot of people don't really get the opportunity to have this sort of conversation, or there's just a lot of division. So I don't know, I think that being able to sit down and talk like this is good. And I also think that, sorry, also I have a little bit of an echo. I kind of have to figure out how to. Yeah, sorry. It's something that we weren't really able to figure out while.
I'm sorry. That's going to be annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm a little bit glitchy or something, but yeah, I think that being able to chat, I think that a lot of content creators get really defensive, and a lot of the reason why I make this content in the first place is just to essentially, I don't know, critique the ways in which content creation can go too far. And I'm not beyond that criticism as well. You know, I think that it's really fair to critique the ways that I make content, and for me to sort of learn and grow from that as well. So yeah, I want to have a conversation and be open to learning as well, being open to listen, and yeah, vice versa, you know?
I appreciate that. And listen, there's going to be points of contention, right? Obviously. Let's start. There's a few examples before we jump into the I Am Helping video from your original one that I wanted to ask you about. So I'll just start by pulling up a couple of choice examples. So I'll show you this clip and then I'll ask you about it. Mm-hmm. This is a clip of you. Well, I'll play it and then. Yeah.
Hila, on the other hand, has made comments deemed even more insensitive, like calling toddlers terrorists.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that one?
What do you mean? I mean.
So you said she called terrorists. She said called babies terrorists. I didn't see that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. I guess I would like to know what the insinuation was. I think that that's what a lot of people were wondering by the I mean ... sort of.
Well, so let's just. There is an explanation, and people in our subreddit and in our community have explained it. Because it's edited in this really tight way. Like, I get the feeling you didn't get that directly from the podcast. You probably got that from a different source, maybe this TikTok or a different subreddit. She was responding to somebody else, right? There was a question asked that she was considering. But even if that wasn't true, to accuse someone of calling babies terrorists is a extraordinarily mean-spirited. It's an extraordinarily loaded thing to say, right? Do you think there's enough evidence to make such a incendiary claim there? Even if she wasn't responding to someone else, let's assume the worst, and she was like considering what Rudy Giuliani said. Do you think, no, she's just doing like this. Do you think that she called babies terrorists?
I mean, I think that if she was agreeing with Rudy Giuliani's statement, then that would be insinuating that toddlers are terrorists. But I think that if that was not her,
and has made comments deemed even more insensitive, like calling toddlers.
Also, sorry, is it okay if I interject here? When I say deemed, so she's made comments that were deemed. So that's not me saying that she's saying that. It's others have deemed it even more insensitive. like calling toddlers terrorists. So I'm not saying that I myself am saying that she's called toddlers terrorists. I'm saying others have deemed so.
Do you think that's really a fair way, though, to like
no, exactly.
to recount
I think that,
stuff? You know what I mean? Because it's clearly that's what you want people to feel from that clip.
I do think, you know, I don't know if it's what I want people to feel or think, but I do think, as I've said in our DMs and everything, the way that I usually do content creation is if I'm going into a subject that I'm not very versed on, very familiar with, or I'm covering essentially a content creator the way the internet perceives them. You know, I'm covering kind of the online interpretation of this content creator. So
interpretation by who, though?
Yeah, exactly. Many different people, you know. But
not really in this case.
you can see in the script, you know, I've sourced the H3, you know, your subreddit as well. But like I definitely concede. I think that
did you ever source our subreddit when? Well, I feel like there was really no attempts, or very few attempts to represent my response or explanation for things. It really, I felt like, was entirely a one-sided account of things. And I mean, you claim that it's unbiased, but I also find that to be like...
Oh, I agree with that as well. But
it's a really dishonest way of framing it.
So as far as going into future content creation, when I come across, so essentially there's a few different things that I'll do. So finding essentially deleted videos or clips online, there's a few different ways you can find clips. You know, if I find a clip and it seems like it's kind of cut oddly, I should look at multiple sources for clips. I 100% agree with that. So it's like, okay, go directly from the source, you know, always, I think is, you know, going to be essentially my rule of thumb, you know, coming out of this situation. You know, especially even in this, I can relate to feeling at times like, you know, even on, you know, your subreddit, I felt like sometimes the clips from my streams are, you know, have been kind of chopped up. And I think that that's been a big lesson to me as well, of I can relate to you in that. I can relate to other content creators and feel like, okay, I need to always look at what I'm viewing and go to the full original source whenever possible, 100% of the time. I entirely agree with that.
Right. And I just think, well, what you're saying is like good and mature and correct. And I think that's a great way to conduct yourself going forward. I also think that like, if you're accusing someone of calling babies terrorists, that like this work should have already been done. That's like an incredible thing to say about somebody.
Again, I did not accuse someone of calling babies terrorists. I said, you know,
let me watch it again.
And has made comments deemed even more insensitive. Like
again, deemed by others, but like I say, you know, I should go to the source originally, and then you know, moving forward, and then you know, show on screen the original post of, you know, this is what people have said. You know, make
I have
it
the
more
link to the original. Let's just
saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that one?
Like Kamala,
the other one.
I could add it.
He says that. Both of his clips
he says
are about,
that in
he
this
said that
rally?
At the rally.
Oh, that's epic. So I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we gotta watch the rookie
I'm just saying, I really think it's important to people understand. Like, I understand you want to conscientious object, but he is the most pro-Israel president that's ever existed. He literally said about the war. Now, I mean, obviously, we disagree with Rudy Giuliani and Trump, and we're opposed to their policies. So, like, to watch this and then, like, even if it's someone else's opinion, like, not everybody's opinion is valid, worth sharing, right? Like, I might say that the moon landing is fake, but you're not going to be like, well, one people say the moon landing is fake, and NASA said the moon landing happened, so I don't know what's the truth. Like not all arguments are you know, like have equal merit.
I mean, I guess like, would you 100% disavow what Rudy Giuliani said?
Obviously, and I've done that a billion times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, but like, I mean, but you made a 3-hour video about me, so I just feel like.
But also, if I can.
Hila's here, by the way.
I'm here too.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. I mean, watching this back myself, it's clear to me that I'm like processing so many things. And when AB says that, I was kind of shocked too, because I haven't seen the clip, and that's what I say. I'm like, I haven't even seen that. I don't know. And then says something, and it's just me processing everything. And plus, I never actually said anything. And so, like, it just seems like the way you present it, you didn't even doubt it, is how I interpret your statement. You say, Hila has made comments. You also say it in plural. Like, there's many comments that deemed blah, 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 blah. So,
by the way, the only people making that claim is just Snark. Like
but,
when we
but
end,
what are the comments? I actually didn't say anything. And that is your example that you show. You show me not saying anything.
But, and all these kind of talking points always come out of Snark. Like we'll end an episode and then we'll see something like this and be like, what? Like that was like wholesale invented, right? And also just another comment on this one is that AB, I don't know if you know, he's Muslim, and he wouldn't just sit here and like sit passively by if Hila was calling babies terrorists, right? Like that's also kind of an insult to him.
Yeah, the thing is,
sorry to get. I really apologize. It feels like ganging
I
up.
Totally. I didn't want to chime in because I don't want to seem like we're ganging up. But I will just say on this point that these people who you're sourcing, they don't care about the truth. They're just trying to find any little clip they could misrepresent for their narrative. And again, it is. They don't care that I'm Muslim, I'm Arab, I brought it up. I would not just sit here like an idiot if Hila was like, oh, your people are killing people at 2 years old. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to speak on what I have seen online, which, again, I experienced this as well, and of not speaking up enough, not saying what's happening is a genocide. And I think that that's essentially a sentiment of you need to speak up more. Sorry, I bumped my mic. And that's what I didn't do, and so, to kind of like listen to that side of this sort of sentiment, maybe that's what sort of happened in that situation is they had essentially, especially Hila, unfortunately, again, I'm out of my depth in here. I'm this is sort of an argument that's, I'm making for, a situation I don't understand. So excuse my ignorance. I don't know what I'm fully talking about here. But, what I can maybe say to that is, with your background, I think maybe people are wanting you to sort of disavow those sort of statements more. Maybe that's what happened in that situation. And because you said,
do you know that I haven't? Do you know that I haven't disavowed?
I think that, again, with Rudy's statement, maybe they were just expecting like a sort of like, that is fucked up. How dare he say that? Like, kind of thing.
Were you watching? Did you watch the whole podcast? Because I don't even know.
I would love to see a clip. I would love to see you say that.
I don't remember what happened the rest of the podcast, but I've disavowed what's happening in Gaza many times.
Yes, I know. And I showed those clips in my section.
Oh, so she did.
So what was the problem, I guess, with me? What are the many comments that I've made?
Yeah. So again, I was attempting to say these are people's issues with, your statements that have been shown online.
You said Hila has made comments in plural that have deemed, and then you finished the sentence. So what are the comments that I've made?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can go online. I think the main ones that I remember seeing, the main ones that I remember seeing is that and the raid.
That was not a comment.
She didn't say anything, to be
clear.
Well,
what did I say there?
If that's the main one, I mean, that's like a really, like, I don't know if you're understanding the gravity of like how much of a fucked up, excuse my poor language, fucked up thing that is to say about somebody. You call babies terrorists, right? Like that is an incredibly incendiary thing. That's not something to say about someone who like just did this with their head.
But also you started by saying to me right now how much you don't know anything about this. Do you know that I'm Israeli and I grew up there and I have family there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Are you assuming that I don't know anything about anything? Because like it just seems like you're just making assumptions about me.
No, like I'm saying, I think
you're just making the worst assumption about me without knowing me, without hearing what I've said. You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say anything.
That is what's happening. There's being words being put in her mouth. I mean, because that like literally. Sorry to cut you off. I really don't want to feel like ganging up. I want to give you all the space. Excuse us for if it gets like emotional and defensive.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, I feel like at times, what's essentially happening is I'm being sort of roped in with, this sort of snark drama. Those aren't always my opinions. I think what might have become botched in the coverage is I'm attempting to describe what's happened online or what's transpired online. So I'm not, I can see how with my coverage it looks one-sided. Again, I can see saying, oh, I'm unbiased is not fucking true, you know? As I tried to describe in my live, I try and take a broad view approach. So it's like, okay, let me look at what's transpired over here, what's transpired over here. And I don't think I did that enough in this video at all. I 100% agree with that.
So just to cap off this one clip, so just to confirm, she did not say babies are terrorists. Like, you agree with that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Again, it seems within the context of the clip that she's agreeing with Rudy Giuliani's statements. I'm very glad that you guys have both said you do not agree with those statements.
Sorry if this is a broken record, but again, the words you use in agreement with her is that she said babies are terrorists, not that she's agreeing with what Rudy. No, you said someone else said it. I acknowledge that. And by the way, the source for that clip is from H3 Snark. And again, you can source Snark, but I do think it's important to point out that when that is
as I said, I do agree with those sentiments of moving forward. I have to, find other clip sources and, watch the full thing in context and always be sure I'm doing that. Again, usually when I cover someone, it's like, okay, what are their criticisms of them? What are online commentary? What are their support pages? What are things directly from their sources? I try and look at, again, all these different sort of, threads and then pull them together in a video. I think, again, after this experience, I 100% agree that if I'm finding a source and it's a clip from one thing, I need to find the full source. I need to verify. I think that's a responsible, creator ethics thing to do. So I agree with that.
So again, sorry to labor a point I've already been over, but just again, Hila did not say that babies are terrorists. Despite what other people said online on Snark or TikTok or whatever, like, that's just a fact. She did not say that, right? She did not say babies are terrorists.
Yeah, I think it was an online worry of many people, from what I've read, and so
but she didn't say that, right? Just to be clear.
No, she said, and nodded her head. And again, I guess moving forward, again, it's, I'll have to, practice discernment with each situation, but especially with a very sensitive situation like this, maybe just saying exactly what was said in the video before showing the clip. And,
the whole context of that conversation was we were talking about how Trump was horrible for Palestine and he was worse for Palestine than Kamala would have been. So like the whole context of the conversation, if you go back and look at it, is being critical of Trump and Giuliani and all of those people for being, demons when it comes to advocating for Palestinians or they're doing the opposite, right? They're advocating against Palestinians.
I don't doubt that.
Here's the beginning of the conversation, just to give Palestine.
The movement of not voting is so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected,
he's the most pro-Israel president of all time.
It's not good for the movement.
Like, he is fucking insane. Like,
at his rally, Rudy was saying that Palestine.
I guess it's just a little bit before that, but we can move on to a different one. This clip, I guess I just want to get your thoughts on why you included. I just want to get your thoughts on why you included this here. So I'll play this for you, and then you can explain. Here it is.
Seem more and more erratic. His statements harsher, bizarre, and more extreme.
Hassan Piker has lost all of his marbles. The mullet rolls are gone, people. Hard hitting, man.
Sorry, was that covered?
Yeah.
My bad. Let me go back. I'm user errors. Boomer alert, sorry.
Seem more and more erratic. His statements harsher, bizarre, and more extreme.
Hassan Piker has lost all of his marbles.
Oh my God, I did it again.
The mullet rolls are gone, people. Hard hitting, man.
So what are you trying to show there?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking about one creator, you know, losing their marbles, and I think at the same time, there's been same clips sort of spread of people making the same insinuations about you. You know,
what is it you're showing though? You're zooming in on something.
Marbles.
I actually don't know what it is. It looks like a tattoo. I think I've
gone,
seen.
People.
So why did you zoom in on that?
You know, I'm not gonna. I work with a team of people, but I'm not going to, you know, talk about their choices and. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like.
Well, I mean, not really, because I mean, it is your project. Ultimately, if it's representing you, I would I would certainly not want my other collaborators having hidden opinions in there that I didn't approve of, right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of the best way to navigate that. To be honest, you know, I work with researchers, I work with editors, and I really. So
you included this clip. You don't know what it means.
So there's certain. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to think again. I'm trying to think of the best way to navigate this.
Sure.
Supporting, you know.
Yeah, and take your time. I don't want you to feel pressured. Take whatever time you need to consider it.
Yeah.
If I'm talking over you too much or being too pushy, just tell me to, and I'll back off. Like that. Really, I'm sorry. I'm getting.
It's
like
okay.
That's just kind of how I talk, and sometimes it's not great.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So I think that at the end of the day, to be just as respectful as possible, I don't want to discuss decisions that my team members made, because that's really not. Sorry. Also, my team member is calling me right now. I work with a team member who I work with a few different team members that I've worked with for literally since I was 2 months postpartum and losing my mind a little bit. You know, with a baby. You know, my husband has been out of the Army for a few years now, but he was in the field for a month when I was about 2 months postpartum, and that was usually the point when I was like, okay, I don't know if I can really be a military wife, and yeah, that was actually the time when two of my team members found me, and an editor and a researcher, and you know, we've been working together for a long time, and I think that ultimately, as a content creator, you know, all of that falls on me, you know, all of the decision-making process, all of the researching process. So yeah, there's some things in there that are mistakes that I didn't do, you know, like there's some things in there that were research links and things that I didn't provide. But at the same time, I verified all of it. I'm the one that posted it. So it all falls on me, if that makes sense. And also, as part of the growing process, it's my job to sort of be like, okay, how can we grow from this? How can I expand the sort of, you know, project and everything? Kind of similar as you've done over the years, you know, with your team.
Sure, yeah, you want to build teams. And obviously, you can't get stuck doing everything yourself. Otherwise, you can't grow. But just
I do think that this has been a really also I interrupted you.
That's okay.
But I do think that this has been a good lesson for me to kind of scale back a little bit and, you know, really focus on, because I think that you know, really focus on the research coming from me for a little bit, just a few projects at least, to really be like, okay, you know, with all these lessons in mind, how do I, you know, move forward and kind of do those things and get used to that.
And listen, we all learn. We all have learning experiences. I just wish it wasn't at the cost of my life. Right.
I mean, again, as I've communicated to you, you know, a lot of those, I mean, again, that statement that we just went over, the Rudy Giuliani statement, I can go back and edit out. And any other ones that we come across here, if you show me the full context and I think it doesn't fully apply, or I talk to you and you know, disavow.
I'll leave the edit. You know, I'll leave the editing choices up to you. My point is not to remove or to silence criticism.
Conversation.
I just to kind of exactly. But just kind of, because I'm not sure if you answered. So what? So do you have an opinion about why there's
harsher, bizarre?
Why you're zooming in on my leg here? I'll just play. It's really short.
Has lost all of his marbles. The mullet rolls are gone, people. Hard hitting, man.
So there's a very deliberate effort to zoom in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess my main question is, why was your leg up when you were?
That happens all the time. I mean, I do that literally every episode.
Okay.
So my leg being up is implying something?
I mean, is it the most professional? I don't know.
Is that why you included it when you're talking about?
Have
I claimed to be the most professional?
Is that a tattoo?
It is a tattoo, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But it seems, if I can make an assumption, the insinuation here clearly seems to be that I'm on drugs of some kind. I think they're trying to imply that I'm on meth or something like that. And the edit.
I don't know if that would be the proper insinuation, because to be honest, my team members know that I have a family member who's a meth addict, who's very close to me. So
right, so then what is it? I just genuinely don't know what it means. I'm getting more and more erratic. People in Snark and in that world calling me, saying that I'm on drugs, which is, again, a really fucked up thing, and excuse my language, to say about a dad of 3. Someone who has Tourette's, someone who has anxiety disorders, someone who deals with all this stuff in the public eye, to insinuate that I'm ever on drugs or that I'm somehow acting.
Extreme. Hassan Piker has all.
You say I'm acting more extreme, and then you show a close up.
Marbles.
Of me
gone, people.
And it almost looks like someone's trying to say that it's like a scar, like a scratch wound, and I'm just manically kind of grabbing my leg like I'm on some kind of drug. Like, that seems to be the obvious insinuation to me.
I mean, that can certainly be your opinion on that.
Well, what is it? I mean, if you don't know, then who does?
I mean, so the reason why I clipped that is, to be also, again, I do think, and I'm certainly not devoid of hypocrisy. I think that there's a certain, which we'll probably get into. I think that I can certainly, deploy hypocrisy, and that's happened a few times. And I think that anytime that happens, it's within anyone's right to check me on that, for me to reevaluate and, learn from that. But I think that it was
hypocritical. It'd just be wrong and kind of mean-spirited.
Well, no, I was kind of saying, as far as, you're sort of saying like, oh, someone's lost all of, Hassan's lost all of his marbles, kind of casually saying that, but you're very hurt when other people say the same thing.
So this is showing me losing my marbles?
That's showing that you're saying other people are losing their marbles.
While zooming in on my leg.
Also, again, that wasn't my particular editing choice, but I'm just trying to say, I
just find it interesting that there's like edits in here that you don't somehow even know why they're there or what they mean. I do find that, and again, this is like, I feel like you don't treat these videos with the gravity they deserve. Like, once again, you're talking about my life.
I agree.
And you are making extraordinary claims about me and my family, right? Like damaging, hurtful, like career, reputational, and just personally, like, very hurtful and horrible things that should never be said without an extraordinarily serious, I am a person, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm not just like some fucking drug addict with his foot up on the desk that you can just say anything you want about. Like, it's just I am a person here, right? Like, and all these people that you sourced, all these snarkers and stuff, I mean, like, I don't think you can tell me with a straight face that these people are not obsessed and attempting to destroy my life and everyone's around me life with whatever means they have. Mm-hmm. And it even means lying outright.
I mean, I don't deny that there aren't people that do that on the internet. I've had people go into my aunt's page, which I'm upset at my aunt right now because I have a policy of not posting my child online, and I have had family members who just ignore that. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, where you're not even in the room and someone's babysitting your child, and then they take a photo and that ends up on like their Facebook page or something, and people currently are posting that.
Yeah, that's horrible. I would hate for that.
And so. I completely agree. Some of that, I think, it's my opinion. I think that unfortunately comes with our job. And I think that's why a lot of times being a content creator is not mentally healthy. It's not the best, like that is just genuinely my opinion. Like being a content creator is not a good career for your mental health. If you want like the best mental health, maybe don't become a content creator.
Right, especially one that people make careers lying about.
But yeah, I mean, but at the same time, when it comes to speculation, I think again, I have a family member who's really close to me who's a meth addict, and also I think in general that addiction is very misunderstood.
I'm not addicted to drugs, by the way. I don't take drugs.
Yeah, no.
Just for the record, because and I empathize with you, right? I mean, addiction is horrible and damaging, but I do not. I'm not on drugs.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that he's literally the most functional person in the world. I mean, you wouldn't. Most people,
right? But I don't take drugs. Just for the record.
Yes, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, I think it's again something that I've talked about a lot in therapy because
I did smoke crack one time. I did. I don't know if you knew that in your research. That is true.
I do now. Yeah, because
I get quick to be corrected on that one. I did smoke crack once.
Okay, but yeah, no, I think like a lot of addiction. People have trouble empathizing with it because they see essentially people at their worst states or these very exaggerated things online, and they think that is across the board all addiction. And I think that's why a lot of addicts, again, not Ethan Klein, who's not an addict, but addicts, and because you don't.
I guess I don't understand the point of the conversation if I don't do drugs, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of saying. So what I'm trying to say is that most addicts literally do not look like addicts. They and that is also why they struggle to get help.
Well, that's interesting because they're saying I look like an addict in that clip, but I'm not.
Exactly. So that's why I think that again, what I'm trying to show when I do a lot of this content is the online concern, and I should try to essentially very heavily disassociate that from my own opinion or figure out how to, because essentially I'm trying to show like this is what's being posted online about a person, and this is the escalating concern, or this is the escalating, post about someone, essentially that.
I feel like based on the story you're sharing with me, that if anything, you would want to distance yourself from flippant accusations of drug abuse, right? And by the way, Anissa, who you said never provokes me. I mean, she was during my debate with Hassan tweeting that I'm on drugs. And she knows me in real life. So, I mean, that's pretty insidious. But it just seems to me that you would want to separate yourself from these flippant, kind of thoughtless, irresponsible accusations of being on drugs. When especially when you're talking about someone with like a Tourette's syndrome and other neurological stuff going on, right, that would cause me to be antsy and stuff like that. It just feels, again, kind of really messed up thing to say. And as a parent of three, too. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. I think
as a parent of three who's had CPS visit my house, by the way, putting out there that I'm on meth or doing drugs is an extraordinarily cruel thing to accuse a parent of in that situation.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that, again, as far as, and I think that this is referencing the big post of concerns for Ethan's mental health on the Snark page, if that's what you're referencing, where it kind of discusses that. I think what I was trying to say with that is that essentially it did seem to me, as someone who is, reading through a lot of this, that there were people that were genuinely concerned for you. Because sometimes, when I'm going through these online, for example, bringing up one, person that I did research on is Brittany Dawn, who I did a video on. And when I would find different, posts about her, like online opinion pieces, a lot of them were just all hate, like really, really intense. And I'm not saying that, you haven't had a lot of those posts.
When you found people expressing concern for me, were they in my community?
No. Like I said, it was this master post that
it was in a community dedicated to snarking on me. They were the ones expressing concern, not my actual fans that care about me. That sounds like concern trolling.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't you think my real fans would be concerned if they thought I was on drugs?
I guess that's, up to the individual person, because I think that I wonder if someone became concerned, would they get pushed out of your community? Would that happen?
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I mean, there are people who get banned are people that are just being like inflammatory and mean-spirited and, a lot of the kinds of people. Well, anyway, listen, let's move on to another topic. I feel like we've kind of discussed that one through. This one really struck me, and I'll play it, and then you can respond to it. Here is this clip here. This one felt like very it kind of blew me away, frankly, just to be totally honest.
Implying that Ethan and Hila are pedophiles because Ethan made jokes about pedophiles and Hila has a hoodie with Care Bears is so gross. Which I hopefully did not fully imply that because, no. Even in a hit piece like this, have you no shame? Do you not care about the impact your words on people's life? I can't believe anyone can stoop to such lows.
Actually, I prefer to even show you the original clip. That was your kind of explaining it. Hold on one sec as I pull that. Sorry, I'm trying to pull the original clip so we can watch that. That would be more instructive, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely, I feel like I did not go about this the right way at all. If you can see my original script, I was going to say something completely different and, opted to not say that.
Oops, sorry. I found it, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I did write something down specifically for this because I'm very worried about, not saying, I don't know, misspeaking. Mm-hmm. Because I feel bad about, I don't know, shitting on someone's clothing brand in the wrong way. But
you can shit on my clothing brand. I don't like being insinuated that I'm a pedophile or that I think babies are terrorists.
Or in that way.
That's like a whole different league of insult, right? But anyway, let's watch this part because this part really kind of rattled me a bit.
What could happen at any moment? Hila decided to call the brand Teddy Fresh because Ethan and Hila loved the name Theodore or Teddy. Theodore happens to be the name of their first son. Teddy is the nickname they have for each other. Following the launch of Teddy Fresh's first collection in October of 2017, the brand almost immediately saw massive success. Much of its apparel would sell out shortly after dropping, and the line reflects Hila's own personal style. While in the past I would certainly commend Hila for having a very creative style, often some of the outfit ensembles that Hila chooses feels very childlike, with also Teddy Fresh having a little teddy bear as a logo. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting.
So can you explain to me what's interesting about... By the way, what's interesting about that?
Yeah, so essentially what I was trying to say, which, I kind of wrote it down as to make sure that I don't know, because I feel like I didn't go about that the right way and how I should have described it in depth. Again, I kind of had something different that I was going to say in my script.
What was it? Do you want to say it? What it is you meant to say? Or... You don't have to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, because again, I edited it out and didn't say it because I didn't think I should. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But so I essentially, sorry, I can also hear myself echoing, but I can see how my statement could be, taking things too far in online commentary, especially if you do feel like a propensity of online snarkers who are sort of, taking things to the extreme and, calling you pedophiles and, kind of, going after your family.
Do you think that it's a stretch to watch that and say, like, to assume you're saying something about us being pedophiles or groomers or something?
So let me explain sort of the context of what I was meaning to say. And so, I think that, so essentially, looking into the research, Hila spoke about, sort of the inspiration of the clothing company being inspired by a lack of sort of colorful clothing for adults on the market. And there being, and inspired off of kind of the children's clothing that was colorful and sort of fun and playful. Again, I have plushies in, that offer me comfort in my
That
video
doesn't
set.
make you a pedophile,
I love,
obviously, right?
Yeah, I love, and I think anyone who likes the same should, go for it, find things that bring them joy and make them happy. And that's why I said, in the past, I would commend Hila for her innovative style, for the way that she,
but now it's
forward,
pedophilia.
An innovative thing. The thing that sort of, that I said sort of, and the word that I said, is, I felt like kind of undermined that wholesomeness of the brand was seeing, your past Reddit accounts, seeing the sort of jokes that you would continually make about pedophilia, seeing all of that and your closeness with the brand. I was kind of like, essentially, that association. Do
I make a lot of jokes about pedophilia? I mean, I acknowledge I had that old account that's like 15 years old and stuff. But do I make jokes about pedophilia? I don't think so. That's not like a frequent topic. I mean, I talk about Michael Jackson. That's true. Michael Jackson, I make Michael Jackson jokes.
How are the two related? Because you're saying in the past you would commend my stuff, but what's changed? I didn't understand what's changed. And then you show pictures of me that don't show me dressed childlike either. So
I can actually show, like,
by the point.
Do you think this is childlike, this outfit?
I did have more examples in the script itself, in my opinion.
I'm just looking at the video. This one actually,
on page 8.
This one I can't say that I understand at all.
What's the problem with the silver dress? What?
I think that it was just seen as funny.
Like to make fun of me, just because I'm ugly. Like what kind of funny?
You should look at the comments on Snark where this is found from and see like the kind of jokes that you're tapping into. Right?
Yeah. I will. But yeah, no, I mean, back to the point, again, it's, essentially taking something. I mean, again, a lot of people have things that are sort of inspired off of, children's aspects that bring them joy. I think right now a good example is like all the surprise boxes, that are sort of,
they're not all pedophiles.
The Labubu's in the back of Dan's set. But I think that but I think that again, like I said, it's as I was researching for this video and seeing just like, some of Ethan's past content, it was like, okay, Ethan's very involved in Teddy Fresh and often, promotes the brand. And so, again, like I said, it just sort of...
You're talking specifically about comments made 15 years ago, right?
You just said this picture is funny. Like, I'm wondering what was funny. Can you... You didn't say in this video that the problem became Ethan's Reddit account. That's not what was said here. You said you have a problem with how I dress.
Again, I should have
you just said now that this is funny.
More in depth.
Is it just making fun of the dress she's wearing?
I think that the photo was added in because it was seen as funny. And
what
the
do
person
you
that
think?
Edited it.
I'm asking you, what do you think?
But you're asking
do you
what
think
I
this
think?
picture?
Yeah, what's funny
what
about
I'm wearing is funny? Do you think I'm dressed like a pedophile? I don't understand. What is your point?
Yeah, I think that I think that if you're asking me what my specific viewpoint is on that particular outfit, do I think it's like really trendy right now? No, I don't think it's really trendy right now.
Okay.
Do I think
it's not like, trendy?
So the point is that I'm out of trend. That would be a different video. Sure, you can make that video that I'm not trending.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's
sure.
So this is another your editor kind of sneaking one in on you again.
It's a bit of a straw man, but if you want to talk about that particular photo, yeah, we can go in depth about
what's a straw man?
That outfit. The photo itself.
The photo is in your video. How is that a straw man?
I mean, yeah, no, but if we want to debate the specifics of that photo itself, we can talk about that, you know. But if we want to talk about the sentiment that I discussed and, you know, why I meant that and why I think I should have expanded more on that so it wasn't, you know, taken out of context, we can discuss that as well.
These are the looks, by the way, you included in your research to say that her clothing is childlike and quote unquote interesting. So, like, I mean,
yeah, I would say that is childlike and interesting.
The blue face is my artistic impression and how I interpreted famous art that I was inspired by. The other ones are Y2K inspired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I would commend that for being fashion forward and everything.
Okay.
Like I said, you know, Ethan's past comments simply, in my opinion, sort of undermined the
Just to be clear, we're talking about 15-year-old accounts posted from an account with the name troll in the name.
Yeah, and
just
you know,
to be clear, that's the part
that
ruins the current day, that makes you suspicious of us in current day. Is just to be clear? Is there other ones, or is it just the 15-year-old Reddit account?
I mean, again, there's been some other consistent jokes. I mean, if you want me to like create a document and send it over, compiling,
well, you already did a 3-hour
as many
video
recent
about
jokes.
It. I mean,
you know, but yeah, but like I said, you know, I agree. I should have expanded on that. If you want me to expand on it,
no, it's
I
okay.
can.
I just, you know, what's interesting is after this part, I'll let it play a little bit further. What you say is interesting afterwards.
Little teddy bear as a logo. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting.
Wow.
Oh, I noticed you cut out the part where you said it reminds you of when you used to get groomed in high school.
I think that was at the end of the video, but we can watch that one too.
No, I remember it. Oh, no. Wait, what? Wasn't it after that? Oh, my bad. It sounds like I've got that wrong. So wait, where's that one? Oh, you have it. I apologize. I am totally wrong on that one. Here it is.
That being said, Ethan accuses a lot of people of being.
Let me just go back to give.
And remember, folks.
Oh, this is about the Reddit
Ethan
account where
he accuses a lot of people of being pedophiles and makes a lot of jokes about
this one. I'd like to say really quick. I don't think I should have included Hila's clothing in this. I think that was total. You know, I think I should have just focused on, you know, your commentary. I agree on that one.
Okay, well, it's in the video. I'll just play it. But
yeah.
I'm glad.
No, I do want to say thank you because this has been ongoing for so long, and people come after this small business. I employ good people here in LA. This is just a small business.
I mean, there's people in her employees' Instagram saying, "Why do you work for a pedophile?" and stuff like that. I mean, that's bananas,
heavy
right?
and very serious.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not something to just play around with.
This stuff is like affected our lives a lot. Sorry to cut you off, Hila.
No, it's fine.
I apologize. Go ahead.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, for my own, you know, personal context too, though, I mean, again, talk about adding bias and everything, you know, not just in terms of, you know, that sort of lighthearted joke that I was not lighthearted joke, but I was talking about, you know, I would growing up being like friends with you know, different men, and they would sort of make sexual jokes, and then you know, eventually I realized they weren't jokes at all. I also was
that would insinuate I want to fuck kids. That's that's the direct logic from that statement. In fact, let me just play it before we talk about it.
And makes a lot of jokes about Hila dresses kind of childlike with a little teddy bear for her fashion brand. I find all of that interesting. It reminds me of when I was really young and naive and had people who I thought were guy friends that would make a lot of sexual jokes towards me. And then they would kind of nudge me and say, it's just a joke. We're just joking around. And then I would always be shocked and disappointed when some time would pass and they would try to make a pass at me. Over time, when I became less naive, I realized that those jokes weren't really jokes at all, that they actually meant what they said the entire time. Ethan's old account has
just so you know, there's been 0 accusations against me for anything, even talking inappropriately to fans and of any age, anywhere. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't engage fans in DMs. So
if
the
anything,
insinuation, and again, I want you to look at it from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
The insinuation that I'm grooming people, children, is not okay. It's just not. It's so destructive. It is so mean-spirited. It is so, and by the way, it's completely without basis.
If anything, if I can add, you bring up again here that I dress childlike. Where do I dress childlike?
Me, Ela, have a 2-year age difference, by the way.
Again, I did say I don't think I should have added that clip in that part because I was focusing on then, Ethan and stuff. And I think
the other thing, if I can also add, is that you say that basically like you've had your own experience. And I have too. So, I have too. And Ethan knows stuff, and we are both very sensitive to this stuff, and that's why we always speak up for victims. We're always on the side of victims. We always put other creators that have done bad stuff on blast. We don't let anybody like push their stuff under the rug. When things come up, we talk about it. So I don't understand, why would you want to come after somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was, 16, I was born in Orange County, got, essentially recruited into a modeling agency and kind of part of the industry. And, there was a few different photographers that, did some pretty fucked up shit. And a lot of times it began with jokes,
But that reminds me, reminds you of me?
I think that in general, my personal opinion is that from my experience, jokes can sometimes not be jokes at all.
Just to be clear, we're talking about 15-year-old Reddit account with troll in the title.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't know you as a person. This is me like, covering situations and just seeing a lot of jokes
you actually
being made.
Glazed up Hassan pretty hard. I mean, at one point, even way more recently than me, he has videos saying he always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut, and he says if old enough to count, old enough to mount. Hassan said that like 6 years after my Reddit account was inactive.
Yeah, and if he said that, I think that's pretty fucked up,
So I expect should I expect a video about how he's a pedophile?
But much like the drug thing, like you have a personal experience with a drug addict, you know how serious that stuff is. I don't know, why would you want to participate in like wrongfully accusing somebody based on nothing of being a drug addict? Same thing with this. As a victim, why would you want to throw around accusations and make all victims not count? You know how many douchebags there are out there that don't believe victims, right? And they like to say that the victims are lying. Why would you participate in that? Because what you're doing right now is throwing an accusation based on nothing, and you're making everybody else look like a fool.
By the way, I feel like I've sacrificed a lot to stand up for victims on the show, too.
And we personally lost friends
I think that's
in this
why
industry that accusations came up against them, and, we're no longer friends with them.
I think that's why a lot of people felt a little bit disappointed, like
by
you
my
can't say that there
15-year-old
weren't people.
Reddit account with troll in the title.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make clear that that's what we're talking about, not something more recent.
Other clips as well.
Do you remember what you were doing 15 years ago?
I was 10 years old.
You were how old?
I was 10 years old, 11 years old.
Oh, well, you were probably playing with kid toys. Pedophile? I'm just kidding. Sorry. That was deeply unprofessional. I apologize.
But yeah, no, I think what was I going to say? I think, there's other, things that I can say as well that at least, again, I don't
Do you think Hassan is a pedophile? Now that I've told you?
I would have to see more clips and context, but
we can show you the clips. They're very famous. I don't know how you have.
I can show it. Yeah. Hold on one sec. I'll show you. One sec here. Give me a moment. Here.
Out. Come back again.
Now, just as a reminder, this is about 6 years after my Reddit account was expired, right? And after it was inactive.
And Miley was around 18 years old.
Well, but Hannah Montana was a girl.
Sure, yeah.
A little girl.
Even worse. Yeah.
So he said he uses the character name. Anyway, here it is.
We discussed the legendary question of all time: old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark. I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic.
So, I mean, is this a pedophile trying to groom people?
I think in general, I mean, I don't fuck with the camel toe jokes. I don't think that's cool.
What about the pedophile jokes?
Yeah, I mean, how old was she at the time?
Well, Hannah Montana. I mean,
how old would she have been in the show?
How old was Hannah? She was like 14 in the show.
And the joke is old enough to mount, old enough to count.
Old enough to count, old enough to mount.
Other way.
Or no, he says he always knew she was a little slut.
Yeah.
About a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You said jokes aren't just jokes, right? So I mean, Hassan is a grooming pedophile.
Again, that's not cool at all.
Yeah.
Again, my main criticism
I don't think he's a pedophile, for the record.
Mm-hmm.
I think those were
my main
uncouth
criticism
jokes
of you
made
was
a
the
while ago.
propensity of jokes that were used. You know, again, my personal experience is that a lot of the people that would end up, you know, sexually assaulting me when I was underage would, you know, continually push those jokes onto me again and again and again and again. And I would write it off, you know, because I think my trauma response is fawn. And so I would continue to write it off and be like, oh, you know, they're just joking. That's all, you know. I guess I wanted to ask, you know, why did you use those jokes? You know,
15, you know what?
So
15 years ago.
I could understand.
15 years ago when I had that Reddit account, I have no trouble admitting that I was extremely slow at maturing. Very immature, very dumb, very cringe, right? At the time, pedophile jokes were super popular on the internet for some reason. There was like the pedo bear joke, and just in general, people thought it was funny for some reason then. And at the time, these Reddit accounts, there was like these really popular novelty accounts, they would call them, with like a specific name that instructs their comments. So for example, I would write some obscene comment, right? And then you would go, if you go even now in the archive, you'll see people being like, oh, I see your name, very funny. Like comments that I made have like, you know, they have like 60 upvotes and people laughing in the comments. So while I agree that those jokes were gross and immature and inappropriate for any time, you know, jokes that, by the way, I don't make today, right? I admit that they are really gross and immature, but I also think like if you look at it, that it's so clear that I'm kidding around and not actually being serious there. And frankly, if you look at that account, like 90% of it is me talking about StarCraft.
Okay.
But you know what a troll is someone who's insincere. It's someone who's trying to provoke you to a reaction through being insincere.
I honestly thought that trolls, to be honest, were like a thing of many years ago until the bad empanada incident.
Yeah, you had an unfortunate run-in with one of the greatest cave trolls there is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think that was.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just generally speaking, a
common.
troll is someone who's insincere, right, and just looking to get a rise out of you by saying whatever. So I mean, that would imply even in the name, a pedo troll would be someone who's using pedophilia to troll people into getting upset by being insincere. Like that's the meaning of the name. If the name was like Ethan Klein and just like, hey guys, this is me, Ethan Klein, like, you know, it's made with the clear intention of playing a character, a troll character, right? That's in the name.
I mean, yeah.
I don't stand by those comments though, and people are totally justified to point it out and say it's gross and cringe and stuff, but I don't think that it's fair to say it implies anything other than that, unless you're willing to go on record and say Hassan Piker is a pedophile groomer, which I don't believe he is, for the record.
Sorry, also I just keep staring at like this stain on my couch and it's bugging me so much.
What, the white one?
I'm like, I didn't really the empty one. And there's like a tiny stain there that's bugging me.
I love your chair, by the way. It's a beautiful green color.
Thank you.
And the throw blanket behind you is beautiful too.
Thanks. Just didn't really catch that.
I didn't notice, but now I do. Everybody look at her stain.
It's gonna be I can't get it out of my head now.
Let's see here. There's all kinds of other stuff. I'll just go through it here one at a time.
First son. Teddy is the nickname they have for each other. Following the launch.
Oh, wait, sorry. We already looked at this one. My apologies. The Fupa Fund one was the kind of one that I hadn't heard in a while.
Helpful. So I was looking into whether the Fupa Fund was still in existence.
Let me go back a little bit.
I've had very helpful friends that have given me advice, but to have something like the Fupa Fund where you could go to and have assistance if you're a small creator, scared and have no idea what to do would be extremely helpful. So I was looking into whether the Fupa Fund was still in existence. But the Fupa Fund dissolved and is no longer in use. A big reason for the Fupa Fund's dissolution is that the Kleins use the Fupa Fund for their own legal fees, as well as several $1,000s out of pocket to fight the legal battle against Matt Haas. While it is often the case that legal fees can add up and become more than you'd ever initially expect, well, the fact that the Kleins closed the Fupa Fund after spending the money on their own legal fees, instead of keeping it open, maybe replenishing the fund once they're able to so that other creators could have used it, well, that's a little disappointing. This move received criticism from many, like Keemstar, who suggested that the Kleins scammed their audience. This,
by the way, even
Keemstar
doesn't believe this now. Like, this is such an ancient accusation. Like, even Keemstar's walked off it. Like, no, it's been like fully debunked.
Into an enemy of Ethan Klein. In the end, Ethan,
I guess what's disappointing about the fact... So, first of all, you know that the money was raised by Philip DeFranco for the express purpose, one singular purpose, right, of paying our legal fees. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you can see from... Sorry, I'm pointing because this is where my research is. But you can see from the research that I got it from your wiki page, right?
Well, I don't care where you got it. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what what's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just because there's a lot of it's all from Snark or whatnot. But I was grabbing that from your wiki page. I do agree. Again, like I said, I should find 2 or 3 sources. Again, that's sort of my principal rule now.
What's disappointing about what happened?
Yeah, so from the clips that I had seen from your YouTube page and everything, it seemed like it was kind of sold as this sort of promise to not promise. I don't want to misspeak or anything. I'm trying to, I don't know.
It's okay. I'm with you. Yeah.
But a way to advocate for creators. I think again, like I had sort of said, when I, first started, I got this random cease and desist from Russell Hartley, talking about his, how to pick up women courses. And then, I got spammed with like 13 copyright claims on a video about a creator and, just different things like that. And when that happens too, when you get spammed with like 13 not copyright claims, sorry.
DMCAs.
Claims, not strikes. Sorry, I was making sure.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes, you get those mixed up in your head, but I want to make sure it's not strike claims.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and when that happens, essentially it was like, okay, either I try and, dispute all of these, and sometimes they can just say, fuck you, and, wait months until, the very last day that they have to like let those go and release them. And then that's, months without you receiving any revenue on the video. Yeah, obviously, this is my job.
It would have been great to have help with that, but why would, because I got sued by some maniac, why would that obligate me to pay for every other creator's legal fees?
Again, like, you don't have to be the end all be all. Again, you kind of, you guys kind of put yourselves as like the forefront. You know
why we did?
Because of the Matt Haas situation.
But we raised, we raised
F'd in the A about.
Do you understand the sequence of events? How everything happened?
I mean, he took down your video, right?
Yeah.
And,
so Philip, at first I said, I don't want to ask you guys for money. This is my problem. Did you see that clip? That's why Philip DeFranco made the GoFundMe and not me. So Philip DeFranco made it, raised 170,000. We got 150 after
a day.
Taxes or no, not taxes.
The cut
after the platform took their cut, so we had 150,000, and we had some really shitty lawyers at the time who made us feel like that was like $1 billion, and a lawsuit would only cost a fraction of that, and we would have all this leftover money, and so we decided like, oh God, that sounds amazing. So with all this leftover money, we're going to use it to help as many people as we can. You know, interestingly, we did actually still spend a fair bit of that money helping people during the process of.
That's great.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. But essentially, we were under the impression that money would last much further than it was. And you've seen when we show the first bill for like $50,000 that we had kind of like a rude awakening. Like, oh shit, this is not. This is not the kind of money we thought it is.
We also, in the middle of all of it, went through a very stressful change of lawyers because the first lawyers who told us to take the case on and made it seem like it would be an easy win, then decided to advise us to settle.
Yeah, they were.
And we were like, no, everybody already donated, that we need to fight this all the way.
This is, by the way, Ryan Morrison, by the way, video game attorney.
And so the whole thing was very stressful, and but we pushed through the whole way through because the whole idea was to win this, so it would create a precedent.
Yeah.
For other people, for other creators.
Are you aware that
that is what happened in the end? I don't know if you.
Are you aware that the win is the single most impactful precedent in favor of critiquing commentary videos on YouTube? And it's actually published.
Yep. I think who. That's mean. But yeah, I think sorry, I'm looking at the stain now even more. But yeah, no, I want to say I'm not sure how much I dove into the judge's sentiments in the video itself. And again, this is sort of a problem as well when it comes to my commentary, that I want to, again, focus down on myself, working on my content and work on this, because essentially sometimes I'd felt like I would go into these rabbit holes and no one cares about this. I'm just rambling on about, the judge's statements and, but hearing also from people who this is directly affected, from, like you said, like, this is your life. It's like, okay, I don't want to, I think it would be better to go into as many details as possible at the expense of, boring a few people, especially if it interests me, then, essentially cutting things down and being like, this is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Long paragraph reading off statements from a judge doesn't matter. So yeah, but in the research itself, I have statements from the judge and everything.
But I guess my point is that in terms of like the best that $150,000 can do, there's probably not a better use for that money than what we ended up achieving through
but
defending
ourselves.
But
that is what the money was donated for. It was not donated so that we would help other people. That was just us thinking we had so much money we could do.
It was a very much
being
no good.
Overambitious.
It was a very much no good deed goes unpunished type of thing, right?
It did come from a good place of thinking, okay, we can do more than just fight our case. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. However, I just don't understand, where is your problem with this FUPA scenario?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, my question, it's disappointing in terms of like, is there a resource like that for new creators?
I'm sorry, but I feel like that's a little bit.
It's not like it's your job, but
like car crashes are disappointing. Like anything that happens is disappointing. Like I'm not sure. What do you mean it's disappointing?
I feel that in framing general, you just did there is a little dishonest. It feels like the obvious implication is that you're disappointed that I didn't replenish the FUPA.
It creates some kind of like an atmosphere that something was done wrong there. Like we either used money wrongfully or something. Like for the viewer of your video, they would be left wondering, okay, so the clients did something suspicious there with the money that was donated.
Right. Actually, and maybe I'm wrong. Let's just watch it again.
Cease and desist in the mail from Russell Hartley. that I had no idea that were extremely FUPA fund where you could go to and have assistance if you're a small creator scared and have no idea what to do would be extremely helpful. So I was looking into whether the FUPA fund was still in existence. But the FUPA fund dissolved and is no longer in use. A big reason for the FUPA fund's dissolution is that the clients use the FUPA fund for their own legal fees, as well as several thousand.
The way you go, like, one of the main reasons, it's like that is it's not one of the main reasons. It's the reason why the money's not there. And also, which I think gets buried a little bit in your explanation, is the reason the money was raised in the first place.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, again, the way that, you know, I feel like there's a million, to be honest, sometimes I feel like there's a million ways to interpret how someone says a sentence. So also I feel like, you know, I can, you know, moving forward, I'm going to be cautious. I've said all the ways that I'm going to try to, you know, take this in and do better, but also, you know, I can say something and someone can interpret it in the worst way possible, you know, at the same time. So, you know,
You think that's what I'm doing?
I don't think that's necessarily what you're doing here, but maybe a little bit. I mean, again,
let me hear this last part. This is the part
out of pocket to fight the legal battle against Matt Haas. While it is often the case that legal fees can add up and become more than you'd ever initially expect, well, the fact that the clients closed the FUPA fund after spending the money on their own legal fees, instead of keeping it open, maybe replenishing the fund once they're able to, so that other creators could have used it, well, that's a little disappointing.
So I mean, you're directly speaking to the fact that I used the money on my lawsuit and not helping other people as disappointing, and you even say that I didn't replenish, that I don't invest my own money.
If I could speak to how I meant to say it, you know, so I went to, you know, I was speaking to, as a creator, these were my experiences getting started. You know, I was excited to hear about the FUPA fund because that sounds like a great resource for creators who are getting into, you know, content creation. Then, you know, looking into your wiki, you know, what it says there, it says that literally, it says all of that information practically verbatim.
The information's correct. It's the extrapolation that I felt was malicious.
Yeah, and so basically the way that I was attempting to say it is I felt disappointed because creators couldn't have a resource like that. Again, because is there a resource like that for people that are starting out?
By the way, I'm not associated with this website. Just to be clear, I don't know what's written here. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Again, but like it's not a snark, you know.
I don't think it is. I actually don't know, though. The Fair Use Protection Act, also known as FUPA Fund, was an escrow account created by Klein in 2016. The fund is dissolved and no longer used. The goal of the account was to help other fellow content creators fund fair use legal lawsuits taken up against them. The account was placed in the trust of the law firm Morrison Lee. Users were directed to contact the @FUPA for Freedom page for help. The FUPA Fund was created after Ethan Miller received donations, $170,000, to help them fund their lawsuit against Matt Haas, and a GoFundMe page set up by Philip DeFranco. Yeah. So I mean, the way that it's described here is just a factual accounting of things, right? So like you referencing this is fine. It's again the extra interpretation you added, which I felt was malicious, right?
I mean, that's fair. Again, I just explained to you what my intention was with that. Is like.
So, do you think I did a scam?
Your intention was just that you're sad that something like that doesn't exist today.
Yeah, for other creators, you know, like again, I remember feeling very lost. Oh my, like, again, sorry, there's a little thing of hair. I know that like now to essentially throw cease and desist letters away, you know, if I get them. But I remember that first, you know, especially anti-MLM creators will receive a lot of cease and desist letters from these random MLM companies, you know, trying to get them to stop making content about their, you know, about their various companies and, you know.
This MLM, is a video I made 9 years ago, by the way. I think it's probably one of the most viewed videos on the topic. How to dispute a strike, DMCA process explained. It's on my main channel. So I mean,
and those resources are great. I just meant like, having those again, like, is there a legal resource like that for creators?
Okay, fair. So you didn't mean to imply that. So I just want to ask again for the record: you do not think that there was any financial impropriety with the FUPA thing?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm
right.
How the fuck would I know?
Right.
Okay.
Even though it's okay, fair enough. So no, I mean no. Okay. Great. We can move on to the next part there. Oh God, the Goku Naro thing was pretty wild too. I don't even know how.
Ultimately,
this
when
video
you look at the
was
way
so
that Trisha
old.
was used on the H3 podcast, it seems like she was often used as a way to stoke her flames for views.
Oh, this is the
and
5% thing, not the Goku Naro.
This is something that Ethan has done in the past to other content creators that he's seen as easily provoked for engagement. Ethan Klein used to associate with the creator JonTron, who was exposed for some incredibly horrible, like blatantly bad takes that had him virtually cancelled. Yet after the fact, Ethan invited him onto the H3 podcast to have a discussion.
So after 8.5 months, now you give...
This is a child. Hold on. This is a child in a disheveled room with an unmade bed and school books on the counter and 3 unstraightened photos of South Park characters. Do you think this is a reputable source?
I think that someone can offer valid online commentary and their room doesn't necessarily, dictate their level of online commentary.
True.
I really hope, I look at this stain right here.
The stain, right? The stain. Well,
it's we all have our flaws.
You make a good point. That's fair. Can't judge a book by a cover.
But at the same time, I as I sort of explained to you, again,
he was defending JonTron, by the way, in this video.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm navigating this a little bit as far as it goes, where other people have added research into this project, and then I essentially, I'm sort of sorry. I'm trying to figure out the proper way to go about this. But yeah, so essentially, someone had sent me an entire section on Gokunaru.
Yeah.
To be honest, I saw that section and I thought that it didn't have much validity. I was not going to, talk about it. Just because
you're talking about the part you included or a different part?
A different part, and entirely in a whole section, kind of, like labeled Gokunaru. I was just kind of like, I don't. I again, in the larger context, because essentially, I'm taking, broad view, approach is my goal here. And I'm trying to figure out what's the most important thing to include. And also what's the most valid, again, which is what we're sort of debating here very kindly and politely. And I appreciate that. But, so yeah, that's sort of, that was a section that I felt like was not very valid.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the part about JonTron? Because that's the part I'm interested in. I don't care about what you didn't include.
Essentially, yeah. So essentially from that, I was like, okay, I don't, but the things that did, that I thought were interesting is when I was reading through that, essentially, as I was going through the frenemies section, again, I care a lot about content creator ethics. That's why I'm right here, looking at how can I be a more ethical content creator? What can I take in from this, learn and do better? One thing that, I thought may be a criticism, of the podcast was essentially, stoking people's flames for content. That was my fear or concern. And I from the Gokunaru section, there were certain examples that I thought might fit into an explanation. So I kind of, when we're talking about the frenemies situation, about how, essentially Trisha had created, a sit-down video where she was talking about how, I'd have to go through and look at the research section. I don't want to misquote this or anything, but she had said something about how she felt like you were baiting her or something like that, for when she would walk off in a frenemies episode. I kind of remembered those sections, where in the Gokunaru video they discussed, how JonTron, which again, blatantly bad takes. I don't fucking agree with, JonTron.
That's why it's so strange to me that you're accusing me of being too harsh of an interviewer.
No, so essentially my take was, my concern again was that, you would, 8 months after the controversy happened, brought him back on to sort of have a conversation where it almost seems like he thinks, and again, let me know, this is your content, let me know if I'm incorrect here, but he sort of seems like he thinks this is going to be like a redefining career moment for him where, his buddy's going to talk to him and he's going to have a comeback. And then, you're wanting to sort of talk about the situation, talk about the incident. You're wanting to continue sort of having that, discussion.
Do you think I should let him off the hook?
No, it seemed kind of like, again, maybe
I should have gone. So your point is that I should have let him off the hook.
No,
what's the criticism exactly? If you can be more.
My criticism is, did he need to be on the podcast at all? And was it for content or was it for, to actually sit him down and talk about it? Because he didn't want to talk about it. He kept avoiding it, and it just led to kind of.
I should have let him avoid it, right?
You think
you should have not talked to him?
You think he did it against his will? The podcast.
The criticism from Gokunaru is that I was too mean to him.
Yeah, again, that's not my criticism.
Right, but you used that clip. Let me watch it. Sorry, I don't remember what it says exactly.
JonTron, a platform to defend himself.
It happened. How long ago was that now?
I don't keep track. 9 months or something.
Ethan continued to say things that seemed intentional to sort of garner a reaction within JonTron.
I don't really want to get into this. It's a minefield of sorts. I'm not going to go back and nitpick everything I said and say and qualify it or anything. The main question on everyone's mind is, is he a racist? Is he a Nazi? No.
Do you feel like you said some things that you regret?
Yeah, I don't like reliving it.
Did you have a lot of self-aware moments during that?
Of course, the whole time.
Jimmy Lee was a former dentist.
It just doesn't even seem that bad at all, even when you try to make it look bad.
Yeah, I mean, again, my sort of question is, this was months or what was it, 8-9 months after the, controversy happened, where he had said some, pretty fucked up things. I understand, but no, I don't really understand wanting to sit down and have an interview with him. I guess, what's your perspective on that?
So that criticism rings hollow to me because I feel like that's not at all what you're saying in your video. Your criticism was, look at Ethan, he's having a racist dude on his podcast to try to clear his name. It's the opposite.
No, it was again.
Gokunaru's point was the opposite, and your point in the video was the opposite of that too.
No, my point was you were trying to essentially create content out of this controversy, if in the harshest way possible. To be honest,
I'll tell you what actually happened because I have talked about this publicly. It is available on the podcast, but what happened is JonTron at the time was like my best friend. We were very close, and we kind of talked about it beforehand. Like, come on the show. Make an apology for what you said. I'm gonna have to rib you a little bit, right? Like, obviously, I don't agree with what you said, so I have to criticize you from my perspective, and here's the questions I'm going to ask you, and here's what you should respond. I think the reason it ended up coming off awkwardly is because we talked about it beforehand. And then when the moment came up, he started closing down, be like, I don't want to talk about it, which kind of threw me off. I was an inexperienced interviewer at the time. And also we had a plan going into it. So I was like, I was kind of like unsure what to do in the moment. But that's essentially what happened there.
I think he thought this was going to be his like career redefining moment, I'm going to,
Not so much career redefining, but we wanted to see him give a sincere apology and a sincere, take him back of what was said.
And I don't think he was thinking that at all. I don't think he was thinking that at all. I think
when we planned things beforehand, we talked about what we were going to do. It seemed like we were on the same page, but it was less on the same page than we thought once things were, actually happening.
But the one thing actually that you did include from Gokunar's video, which is this compilation of me pressing John, is actually the one thing he retracted in his video about me, which I'll show you. It's actually even in the description of his video. I'm trying to find the link. Here it is.
There it is. Yeah.
So it's actually even in the description of his video here. Thanks to Starkilla for pointing out the errors.
Above that.
The John Tron segment was cut too liberally in hindsight. I encourage you to form your own opinion by watching the unedited conversation here. Did you watch the unedited conversation?
Again, this was from a re-uploaded video, but also, again, because I was like, oh, let me add this section in of something that I was going to delete entirely. I 100% agree with that thing of like, if I find a re-uploaded video or I find, snippets online, sorry, the sunset's setting, so my lighting's probably going crazy. I need to see as much as possible if I can find original sourcing as much as possible across the board, 2 or 3 sources of, information so I can verify
up with him,
original sourcing. Sorry, what?
My unedited conversation with him is still on our channel.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I fully agree with that.
Okay. So do you think, do you think I exploited John for content, or are you walking back on that? Not that I even care about that accusation, honestly. I find the whole thing a little bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, again,
just doesn't seem that serious.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to ethical content creation, I think that there's been a few cases where, sorry, again, there's just like a weird hair thing. That's just my concern, Same thing with my content when it comes to sourcing. I'm absolutely going to pay attention to that as much as possible. Focus my content down.
Do you think you've exploited any of these people you've made videos about? You made one about Sydney Sweeney, Ashley Barnes, Danielle Cohen, Anna Paul.
So a big.
Do you feel that any of these have been exploitative?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think a big point of my content that I try to
most
do, but
evil,
again, like
you
I said,
called OK Baby. You said she's the most evil influencer mom, and actually, she is terrible. I'm not defending her, but I am kind of just pointing out, like,
so yeah, a lot of times
worse
when
than what I did to John in terms of like editorializing and exploiting other people's, trauma, like way worse.
So a lot of times when I make content, I really try to I really try to understand like their perspective, how they,
do you feel you did
what
that
their
to
background
me?
is.
Do you felt that you really tried to understand my perspective and background?
I thought I did at some points, but understanding your criticism, again, I can see where there are flaws, which I'm, wanting to have this conversation here. Again, I think that if there's anything that I'm not doing enough, that's why I'm listening and wanting to learn, from it. But I also think that doesn't mean that, influencers are devoid of criticism either. I think that there's a way to sort of find that middle ground. And because as I'm gaining more and more of a following, I'm also part of that camp, I don't think I explained that in here, but that's also a reason why I moved away from MLM content. I kind of felt like sometimes I would sort of, make content about like a random, in anti-MLM community, you call them like Hun bots, but, like a random person who, just sort of got roped up in an MLM and is making, a video to like their 100 followers trying to promote, a product and making content, using, essentially pointing out how bad that is, but kind of like it felt like punching down. The bigger of a following you get, it feels like you're punching down on someone like that, whereas influencers, we're gaining more influence across the board, and with that comes more responsibility, how you utilize your audience, how you utilize your platform, how you utilize ethics, and again, I'm not devoid of that criticism either.
That's kind of the point of our conversation right now, actually.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I want to have this conversation. That's why I wanted to have it. And I think the same thing can be said for how you utilize people as guests on your podcast,
Well, but I mean, can't that be said about anyone with anyone on their podcast,
exactly.
though? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
That actually was leading into the Trisha 5% part. I'll show you this clip because it is interesting how 2 years ago or 3 years ago when it was popular to shit on Trisha at the time.
Yeah. Can I clarify?
You had an opposite. You had almost a contradictory take to what you said about her now, when now it's popular to support Trisha.
Yeah.
I'll play it for you.
Hey,
all right, Ethan, I'm asking to end this. I'm asking
you can leave anytime.
Many people were really disappointed with the way that Trisha.
Yeah, I have to raise a great point of contention that you made me sound way too chipmunky. And if you ever include me again, I promise I won't claim you. Just don't make me sound like a chipmunk.
Deal.
Okay, great. We're on the same page there.
Paytas handled the fallout and how they pretty much turned it all into a grovel over money.
We end up paying for Ethan and Hila, which is crazy because he takes that 5% and VIP tickets to Disneyland is not cheap.
The nerve of her to complain about 5% when I'm literally not making a fucking penny at this point. It's just so disrespectful. It disregards all the hard work we do, not only on the crew, but now on my wife and all the people that worked on the merch. And it's like, okay, well, fuck you.
I just remembered another aspect that I totally forgot. She started saying she wanted half of all of the membership fee. That like she was just taking everything so far. I forgot she even asked for that. And then here's kind of
production.
It's not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show.
Trish receives a 45% cut of the show, while Ethan Klein receives an extra 5% that goes towards production costs. Now, first off, if the show is incredibly successful, incredibly successful, and all you're doing is paying your employees a base salary, putting up a fabric backdrop, a basic table.
It's funny. You said fabric backdrop, and then you showed us outside.
Is that? I think that was the.
Oh, this is in your video.
A basic table and mics.
Oh,
you know that 5% can get pretty chunky if you're.
Now, I mean, obviously, you're being a little bit hyperbolic there. Obviously, we did a lot more than that.
Yes. Yeah.
Podcast is getting tens of millions of views. Incredible success. That 5% can really numerically change quite a bit. Do your employees get a raise because of that 5% production cost? Are you investing a ton into production costs? Or are you taking whatever isn't allocated to employees to the set for yourself? While to the public, 5% can feel silly to argue about, like a very small number, and how they pretty much turned it all into a grovel over money, especially if Ethan's argument was that 5% was for production and the staff.
He takes that 5%.
Which makes Trisha appear like she didn't care about H3 employees. I could also see why Trisha may start to feel like she was getting undercut when it came to frenemies, and how they pretty much turned it all into a grovel over money.
Do you see how it looks a little duplicitous?
I think cognitive dissonance literally can destroy a person's mental state.
Oh, that was somebody added that.
Takes that 5%.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's a little duplicitous.
I mean, I'd love to explain. So normally when I cover a topic, I don't like to circle back again and again and again. I normally make. That's also why again, I think that's exploitative. You have. Not to offend other channels, that make continual topics on people. Again, if you feel that's necessary, let me know if I need to turn on my light at any point too. Since the sun's setting over here. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so for me, my content, I'll do these deep dives, cover a topic, and then I like to kind of move on. Just because, again, that's my feeling on the matter, especially with the type of content I do, where I'm, covering extensively a subject.
If you're going to cover the same exact situation, two opposite ways that fits into the narrative of your video, it just doesn't feel genuine.
Again, maybe I shouldn't have. I should have clarified this, but as far as covering Trisha, again, that's why I didn't, go extensively hard on her. I added text to clarify, like, hey, I don't think she's perfect. I had some things where I was being a little bit snarky towards Trisha, but
Are you afraid her fans might be kind of upset if you've criticized her in modern day?
Again, no, I just felt like I had done a huge extensive video on my criticism of her. A lot of my criticism is the same. I also think that, growth is there,
I guess I'm not understanding the logic. Because it's not the same, right? It's you.
But if I can get to the 5%
yes,
aspect,
please, sorry.
so after covering that, I kind of sat with it for a while. I think I mentioned this in my live, but she had kind of done a video, and again, this is another situation of this happening where I have to reflect and think about the ways that I cover content with the idea of someone who's viewing the video, like the subject themselves viewing the video in mind. Because I think she had done a video, like a TikTok, where my video was in the background, and I forget, it was kind of talking about how hurt she was from some of the content made about her. And so after that, I just kind of reflected on what criticism went too far. And again, as I was making this video, I was reflecting on that a lot of that former video, again, I'm not part of your crew. I'm not part of the behind the scenes financials. I don't know what took place. I don't, there's, various allegations. So I can only,
what allegations?
Like I said, the 5%.
Well, that's not allegation. I took 5% more.
Or whether that's fair, whether that's not.
Wait, why are you laughing when you say 5%?
Because it's become a massive, meme right. at this point, and is sort of blown out of proportion. And essentially, I was kind of reflecting on if that was sort of, fair for the internet to sort of make fun of the 5% meme, or if it was kind of people not taking someone seriously.
If 5% is worth a lot, imagine how much 45% is worth.
Yeah.
Right? It's all in relation to
yeah. And again, like I said, my former criticism still holds. It's sad that, a working relationship devolved in that way. But I also think that I think that, to me, my interpretation as a complete outsider is that, she did see it as a business relationship, and that she wanted a producer of some sort, to be there to advocate for her, to make specific choices.
Oh, yeah.
So she didn't feel like
I
she was
have
being
talked about
sidelined.
this on the podcast. When she mentioned she wanted a producer, I immediately told her to find someone, and I would pay their salary.
Yeah, I mean, and again,
I'm pretty
just
sure that's even in the
mention
leaked
that.
conversations too that she leaked.
So I wonder, what is your actual criticism? Are you saying that you think it's a bad deal for a talent to show up to a show? All they need to do is just show up and get 45% of that show's earnings. That's a bad deal in your opinion?
I guess my thing is, I think that she wanted a full business relationship. She didn't want to be the talent. And again, from the statements,
is that a criticism of me? I mean, that's what kind
yeah.
of how the business was started. By the way, she was treated as a full partner. I mean, whatever she wanted, she got.
Exactly.
Right?
And so,
but it's not like she had plans to become an owner of the company, or there wasn't. I don't know. What do you mean by that? That was not part of the discussion.
She called me Julie in the DMs, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Okay. My how would I say? I guess my question is, when these sort of collaborative projects are started, like Frenemies, are they treated like a business relationship,
yes,
a collaborative business relationship? So I think that's sort of how it was viewed. Again, I'm not Trisha. I can't.
Yeah, that's why criticism of me.
But that is why the earning is 45%. It's not like a flat fee of I don't know, $2,000. It's a lot more than that.
What's the criticism of me?
Yeah. So again, reflecting on my former content that I made about Frenemies, that was something that I felt like, okay, I could see Trisha's side of wanting a producer that could advocate for her.
She
I could
asked
see
for
her
it, and I offered to pay.
Yeah.
This comment wasn't even in the
that.
video, was it? I don't think you even talked about that in the video.
The producer? Yeah, I don't think you did you mention that she wanted a producer?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that would be a good reason to take 5% extra. If I was like, I'll hire them and I'll pay them. I'm paying my whole
and then the only other
thing was,
she never
invested any of her money.
Oh yeah, I paid for the whole set and everything. Was like $50,000 that I never even asked for a penny from her for that.
And the only other thing was, I think a lot of people were laughing at 5% because it seemed like such a small amount in the grand scheme of things. As you said, 45% is a good cut. The reason, what I was trying to say is like, okay, if you're getting millions and millions of views, that 5% can end up being more than like what most of us would see, So I could understand how.
But then the 45% is worth that much more too.
Yeah, of course. And again, but I'm just trying to, just look at that.
So you changed basically since you covered it.
So you're changing your opinion?
Yeah, it sounds like you changed your opinion. So when you made the Trisha video 2 or 3 years ago, you were very critical of her making it about the 5%, making it about money. Sounds like since then you've changed your opinion, and now she was justified in making it about the 5%.
Well, again, I didn't look at that in my original video of just how much, like, again, 5% of, I don't know the specific numbers. I'm literally just spouting random numbers, but 5% of 100 million versus 5% of 100,000 can be different. Also, asking about whether
it's not 100 million.
No, I know, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying random numbers. Also, a few points I'm just going to say really quickly. I am really glad that the employees got a raise. That was just also my other question.
But why would you assume, why would you assume that I'm fucking them over? Like, why would that be the automatic assumption? Because I feel like I don't have to come out here. It's funny. If I came out here and was like, everybody's getting a raise and everybody's getting this and that, people would just accuse me of being performative. And it's nobody's business. I don't need to fucking air out their financial situation to anybody. So, like, why should I even have to come out here and talk about
because
the financial? Why don't you just trust them to be here of their own accord in a happy financial situation? Like, why do I need to come out here and virtue signal for everybody that how great of a boss I am?
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, even in this discussion, the 5% feels silly to argue about, but it was so highly debated over that's why I mentioned it, But what was I going to say? No,
I don't think you answered my question. So do you feel like it's a bad deal for a talent to get 45% of a show that they just show up to? They don't.
Zero investment.
So that brings up what I was going to say. I think that almost anyone would take that initially, and then I think when there becomes these big blowouts where you're sort of seen as the crazy one in a podcast, and then you get this huge wave of internet backlash. But these massive viral podcasts, and they're all on the H3 podcast channel. You're not essentially what I was trying to say is across the board, it wasn't just the Frenemies episodes, but other videos as well that were seeing a huge boost in viewership. You were probably seeing a huge boost in subscribers.
What do you think was happening to her
large
views?
Audience. Fan base.
Are you aware that before Frenemies, she had a podcast that couldn't even break 10,000 views? It was canceled by the podcasting network because it was just it was costing them money. They weren't making any money. Her career was fucking.
It was mutual.
It was.
The point.
It wasn't in a good place.
It was definitely
mutual. Should I own a piece of her fucking her media empire for putting a show on with her?
Again, I think it was just on your channel, so I think over time.
But we made it.
There can get that sense that again, you're getting this huge wave of internet backlash. Another person's channel is skyrocketing. Feelings are, you're going to feel a certain way about that.
She made millions of dollars from that show.
That is
by
not
the way.
accurate to how things went.
Yes.
I mean, she got a huge spike out of it just as much as our channel did, and it was mutual.
Why did she get backlash?
And plus, if anything, for a talent to not even have to post anything, kind of makes the deal even more generous. She didn't even have to post it anywhere. We posted it on our channel. She literally just showed up.
All the risk.
Like, show me another place that has a deal like that. I don't think you would find it.
Also, you're kind of. I have to correct you. You're talking about Trisha like she's the victim, but the reason she was getting backlash is because she was wanting to fire my entire crew and replace it with her own.
That.
Which is a company that she has no.
So I mean, she's accountable for her own.
She did not invest in this company. She was not here the years before or after Frenemies. That was just so inappropriate for her to ask to fire the whole crew.
Yeah, and again, I saw a video where she suggested that she didn't want to fire the whole crew. So I'm watching these videos.
It's all on
I'm
record,
listening to you.
I think it's all on record.
Yeah, and I'd love to see that. As and for this, I did see multiple sources. Like I saw your video, I saw her video, I saw different. So.
Seems like not enough, because even in this screenshot, you can see that Ethan says he wants to hook up the crew for extra work.
And then
that is in release text that she released at the time. So you would have had access to this information, for example.
But also, I says I was wanting to hook up the crew for the extra work, but then your immediate reaction was he's not paying his crew extra, is he? Sorry to put a voice like that. I didn't mean to make you sound like that. That wasn't fair.
That was not my reaction.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how everything was out. Again, the intricacies of this business relationship. It was an internet phenomenon. It's kind of fascinating years later to return to and.
It is very much an internet phenomenon.
I appreciate I appreciate the clarification on those aspects. As far as, again, I think another aspect is the fact that it's on your channel. You guys do have more control over the situation. So I think that wanting a producer,
but
who would be able to advocate, maybe I don't know. Again, I cannot speak for someone else. I can't.
I feel like there's been an effort by Snarkers and Trisha fans to kind of rewrite history a little bit.
Because that point only came up towards the end when things pretty much kind of blew up and the show never happened again. That was not like something that was building up. She wasn't regularly asking for a producer and not being met with the request. Like that is not something that was part of the
Do you like Trisha? Are you a Trisha fan?
Actually, I don't watch her show. I got the impression that she did not like me from, showing the video in the back. And I feel bad about that, and I've reflected on my own content in that way. Again, that's why I think about these things and try to revisit it from that lens. But I also think that, again, I don't like that she shows her children in her content at all. Again,
you don't like that we show our children in our content too. That was another thing you raised.
Mm-hmm. And someone,
that we were hypocritical.
Went into my aunt's Instagram page and showed a photo of my child that my aunt posted to try and say that I was being hypocritical, which I did not think. I thought that was a gross
that's
overstep.
Horrible. That's fucking horrible. I really wish nobody would ever do anything like that. That's fucked up.
But yeah, I mean, again, that's just a consistent commentary.
I didn't tell anyone to do that. I mean, the opposite. And I'll tell people now, don't fucking do that. The whole point of this is to have like a productive and as much as we can, a civil conversation about this, right? Like, I just want people to listen to what we're saying and not take anything offline to her or her family. Like, please do not ever fucking do that on behalf of me to her or anybody.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think same here, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
No, and I believe you 100% on that, for sure.
Yeah, and and I think that if anyone does that, that's fucked up, and that's something that I'd make a fucking video on, I think that as far as, I've made a lot of commentary on, family channels and family influencers because, I think that they've gone too far. And so I think that was, as far as, essentially a lot of the video was, talking about how, you guys are sort of legacy YouTubers, I think that's a good way to describe it. And so, essentially seeing a lot of, the issues that I talk about kind of be brought up in terms of like, criticism against you both is just something that, I talk about in the video because of that reason. I don't know. Are you guys freaking on the same level as family channels? No. Do you guys exploit your children in that same level? No. I think that would be hyperbolic.
I don't think we exploit our children at all. I mean, their appearances on our and our content has been minuscule. I mean, it's just to the same level as even I'll say is a little offensive.
You can probably count it on one hand the amount of times.
Yeah, and they've all been times where they were like really wanting to be involved. Or I'll tell you a large reason. You showed an image of Teddy coming up to me on the podcast. And the reason, at first I was like, no, don't come on. That's how I started. But I felt like it was creating a weird, I didn't want him to feel like there was some weird thing about, and that he was doing something wrong by wanting to come up and say hi to me, or just, there was like a very strange boundary there that wouldn't make a lot of sense to a kid. So instead I decided on, for their benefit, to treat it more natural. Like if they're here in the studio and they want to come say hi, I let them do it. Instead of making it a weird, awkward thing where they are confused and they feel like they did something wrong. You know what I mean? So that was a conscious decision as a parent to do what I thought was in their interest.
I mean, obviously I'm lucky where, I make edited content. There's been a time where, my child was about to go to bed and wanted to say goodnight and, went to say goodnight. And then I was able to edit that out of a video because, I was in the middle of filming. At the same time, I'll be completely honest, 100% honest about my personal opinion on this. Because I make commentary on a lot of family channels and I've seen a lot of fucked up shit where people use their children for, there's a lot of creepy people on the internet, anyone can see your children. So that's one aspect of why I care a lot about, children not being seen online. I also think that, until children are of age, they just, don't have the cognizant ability to really consent to what's being shown or produced of them. Anyone, can take a clip of that. And,
do you work with this person?
As have been said.
Sorry,
what?
Sorry to cut you off. Do you work with this person, Content Crash Out?
No.
Because you use this clip from their page.
Hassan Piker has lost all of his marbles. The Mueller rolls
so it was
gone,
zoomed in
people.
before. Okay.
And you actually, I saw you left a comment saying
Yeah.
that this person was a good, reputable source. Have you seen their content? Do you know how deranged and anti-Semitic and obsessive and concerning it is? Like, they're probably one of the most deranged, concerning, obsessed snarkers in the game right now. And you co-signing that is really, really, really not cool. I can show you their content if you haven't reviewed it. It's deranged.
Okay.
Would you like to see it? I mean...
Yeah, sure. I mean, because to be honest, me making a general statement right now about another person's page, I just can't really...
By the way, here's the... So this is the video
Hassan
you used.
Piker has lost all...
If you go to the comments, you'll see he's so far gone. Yikes, what's happening? Did he dye his hair? Yeah, obviously that was for a bit. I have a very obvious drug addiction, right? I watched this man for 5 years, and John Mulvaney fan, who, by the way, was, I think, an alcoholic, or I don't know what, he had a drug addiction. But if you look through this, the obvious insinuation is that I'm on drugs. So to include this clip, again, is to accuse me of taking drugs.
Because of his tics.
I do think that is
because of a neurological disorder that I don't have control over.
That manifest in sniffing sometimes, or in, different clearing the throat, whatever it is.
I'll also say, before this snarking phenomenon, I went my whole life with people being super understanding and caring, and like never weaponizing that or making me feel other for that, until I met these snarkers who now have used it, including Anissa and this guy here especially, who have used it as a point of criticism. My neurological disorder I was born with that I can't control, that has been a huge obstacle in my life, sitting in front of a camera with this, is participating in the weaponization of a truly debilitating neurological disorder I've got, right? And I have never been the victim of this. I would never even, imagine of accusing someone of being ableist when it comes to me. But you truly are participating in an ableist harassment campaign that presupposes that my uncontrollable neurological disorder, Tourette's, is the result of drug abuse.
I mean, first I want to say I'm really sorry about that, that people have been weaponizing that and that you feel that way.
But you weaponized it.
But I do want to ask, do you think, and this is, I guess, where I do feel like sometimes the use of this idea that using from one source could be essentially a thought terminating cliche. I want to ask, do you think that me using a clip from something is co-signing whatever is on that clip?
It depends,
all
right?
Comments, all of the, you know what I mean?
It depends what's in the clip.
Sometimes I could be using that
using
clip
unedited footage
for different context.
Or are using a clip what has a clear editorial perspective? Because if you are using a clip with a clear editorial perspective, then you're obviously co-signing the footage if you're not correcting it, right? If you're just like you can source from Snark. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, right?
Because what I've tried to say through the video is this is what online commentary is. Is that, does that mean I'm co-signing that online commentary automatically if I do that?
If you don't, go on to add another opinion of your own, like this is what people are saying, but of course it is baseless, or people are throwing crazy accusations.
You did co-sign it literally in the video. You did literally in the setup to that clip. You literally co-signed it.
If you just use it without any critical explanation, then yes, you are.
Like imagine I'm going to use
how you use it.
I'm going to use something really hyperbolic, right? So forgive me, and I'm not accusing of this, but imagine if I wanted to make a point about socialism and nationalism, and I really wanted to impart the importance of that. And in doing so, I pulled up a clip of Adolf Hitler. And again, pardon the extremity of it, but I don't criticize it. I just go, this is a great commentary from Adolf Hitler about the need for social cohesion and nationalism and socialism. And I think that we can all draw from. And I don't give any, and I'm just like, here's Hitler, right? He's making a great point. I mean, clearly people would see that as a clear endorsement of Adolf Hitler, right? You wouldn't be like, hey, I didn't endorse the guy. Like it would clearly be an endorsement of Adolf Hitler for me to
but again, it's, as opposed to, I can't use that same example, but I'm trying to think of a similar example to use but if it's someone has said this, here's a clip of this being said, or people became concerned of this behavior, this type of behavior, here's a clip of this. You know what I mean? It's not the same as kind of the example that you just said.
But you never insert another opinion or an opposing opinion. So it seems like you're agreeing with it. Your whole video is siding with that one side, even though you're saying that's what the internet is saying.
Again,
there's many on the internet that are saying the other thing, but you're ignoring that. Mm-hmm. So
you showed a clip implying I'm on drugs, and then you didn't say anything else. Like, of course you're co-signing it. Why else are you showing it?
Snark is a minority. Our audience does not think that Ethan is on drugs.
I mean, nobody of sane mind thinks I'm on drugs.
Think you're on drugs either, but
again,
the point of the video,
you're conveying to your audience that I am maybe on drugs.
The point of the video is to show the sort of essentially your reaction, the online reaction. I think where I went wrong, is I think that I could have dove further into that.
You said initially you didn't even know why the clip was there.
I think I could have dove further into that, some of the legal, aspects that are going on currently, kind of showing your response, their response, things that are happening. I brushed over that as well, kind of saying that, kind of the very start of that and not further going into that. So I think I should have, gone further into that as well. Essentially, my intention was this is what's happening online,
But you didn't show what's happening in our community.
Exactly. I should have,
Okay.
I also agree with that too. Especially for that particular section, I do think that there are a lot of times when I include H3 Productions or r/H3 Productions posts, but to essentially show same thing when I show opinion pieces, I should try to show, especially with something so contentious and divisive as this topic, I should show two sides, but again, also with that idea of there's no way to be unbiased. If I feel like can I put myself in this rabbit hole where I'm just endlessly trying to be unbiased and I'm putting up just, you can sort of pinhole yourself into where you're trying to provide every single side.
Yeah, but you didn't even come close. I mean, that's not a problem that you're close to brushing on.
Your words don't match the action. It doesn't. You're saying you're endlessly trying to be unbiased, and you haven't tried once.
Forward.
Yeah.
You haven't tried once in this video to be unbiased. It's just the words that you're saying sound great, but the action is
I do think, I don't think that's entirely fair either. I don't think that's entirely fair either with this video. I think that there's many times that I do try and look at your side, and I think that's a mischaracterization. Either you didn't watch the full video, or, that's
when did
kind
you,
of...
do you remember a specific moment in your video
I
where
think
you
iDubbbz, the iDubbbz situation is is one of the most prominent ones in my mind. I essentially
we can pull
agree
it up.
With your
I'm
point.
curious what that looks like. Can you tell me a specific sentence so we can search the manuscript?
Yeah, I mean,
or just like a word.
I could go off of my research
part?
itself.
Oh yeah, you can do
let
that.
Let me know when I need to put on the.
You want to put on the lights? You can. You still look fine, but you can put on the lights. You want to? You know what? I really need to pee. If you want to take like a quick break. And to adjust the lights or something, but also you look fine too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell like what it would look like, but the sun's gonna set in like probably 5 minutes.
So you want to take a moment to turn on the lights, and I'll run to the bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. I'll be right back. Thank you.
I guess you didn't get the memo, Nate.
So yeah, Dan.
About them Dodgers.
How about them Dodgers, man?
Yeah. Incredible. Just incredible, guys.
It really is.
Yeah.
I love baseball.
Do you?
Yeah, I love The Sandlot. Great film. Was that 94 or 93?
94, I think.
94. Wow. Lena, when were you born? Was that 94? Good year. You are aging like fine wine. Yeah.
And you're very well illuminated now.
Probably very shiny because I'm sweating and oily.
It's just way too crunchy. I can't eat this.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to ask you about again, about this specific account, content crash out. You said, I appreciate you. As you probably know, I've been following your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and Downward Spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly, you said. Now, this person is singularly obsessed with me and Hila, and specifically about my Jewishness. And like deranged conspiracy theories of the most obscene order. So
yeah, I mean,
do you agree? So you follow this person closely?
So I would say that, again, the videos that I sourced from them were not, again, I can't speak to, what you feel like are really offensive videos. Sorry, not to say what you feel like, but I feel like, again, I haven't seen all of their videos to know.
Okay. I just confusing because you said, I've been following your page and source from you. I guess, yeah, sure. Maybe you didn't see all their videos by that.
Yeah. Like, the reason why I said that is I feel like on TikTok, you can probably see when a creator saves a video, so I just felt like they could probably see that,
So you saved the video, though. You said the editor put it in.
The one that, again, I wasn't sure about the zoom in, whether that came from
that was in their video.
An editor.
That was from the one you downloaded.
It's identical. It's from this video.
Yeah, no, exactly. So what I was going to say is I wasn't sure if that came from an editor, but now looking at it, it's clear it came from this page itself. So what probably happened is, again, I
Rudy was saying that
added a timestamp. It's okay. Added a timestamp into my script. From that, I saved it, added it in. So yeah, it was.
Is this where you heard that Hila called babies terrorists? Because this person also
are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
They made this.
So again,
are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that one?
Like Kamala. That's not really a fair edit.
To be completely and totally honest, there was multiple pages and sources that have shown that clip.
Yeah, I believe that.
Multiple sources. And that's where it's hard. Again, going to the original source. Because
do you see how many videos this person's made about me? Does this look healthy? Honestly, if you're sourcing from them, I'm concerned. Like literally, can you see all these?
Specifically, that video that you saved and included in your video, just scroll through the comments. All the comments are about how Ethan is a drug addict, and specifically that zoom on the tattoos. There are comments about it. Is that from scratches? Is that from injections of drugs? That is in the comments. So, but it's interesting to me that you chose to save that video and include it.
Oh, this one they're calling Hila a Nazi for getting a Star David tattoo. Watch this one.
That's been going on and what I'm going through, I almost feel like I want to do it the most in your face possible way that I can, and I feel I kind of want to tattoo a blue Star David on my hand.
Blue. Have you showed this on the show that you got the Star David
Not
tattoo?
yet. Today is my first time. The comments were very interesting. We got lots of
mixed
reviews.
100% fair,
mixed reviews, meaning
you guys have called me a Nazi.
Say what?
To be 100% fair, you guys have called me a Nazi.
Well, we can get into that if you want to. We can definitely get into. And one of the reasons that I called you that is something you edited out of the video, which was you said that I was.
But to
you said I was
you
said I was imparted at birth with Israeli ideals and indoctrinated at birth as an American Jew. That's fucking insane. That's super offensive, deeply anti-Semitic. So obviously, are you a Nazi? No. But my point was that was an extraordinarily anti-Semitic view to hold. Something that's very popular amongst Nazis, neo-Nazis, American neo-Nazis, etc.
Which I would love to have a conversation about that. As far as this page goes, I think that Again, going back to my point of wanting to cover what is the internet saying, but I do think, again, because, funny enough, my neighbor is a journalist and a writer, and we're talking about this and essentially how online forums, you should stay away from in general. If you want to sort of have, good coverage. So, I think that was a really positive, conversation sort of about this. I do think that, again, it's hard when it comes to covering internet situations, though, because you can't, she was kind of talking about as a journalist how often she goes directly to a source. How does that translate online?
I mean, you didn't reach out to me one time.
We have hours and hours and hours of footage every week. Like,
but also you didn't reach out to me when you were.
All the sources are on the internet, and as well as, for example, the Trisha fallout, it was all documented. Like, pretty much all the stuff you're talking about are stuff that are online available.
But also, you didn't reach out to me once during the making of the video.
Again, so as I'm moving forward, but I mean, let's talk about the likelihood of like how likely would you have responded. In the past, I've sort of written it off as like people are not going to respond if I reach out to them for comment.
So you don't try? I mean, it sounds like when you started talking. It sounds like when you started talking about it that you're doing a video about us. Some of our fans were also your fans, and they even made a post about it. So it's very much doable, actually.
I do think
the word got around. The word got around to our subreddit, which we do check regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand your point, though. I think a lot of creators probably either wouldn't see it or wouldn't respond. So understand what you're. I understand, like in general.
To be honest, though, that is something that I could have done. Is reached out to someone for an opinion piece, one-on-one messaging, that kind of thing. That being said, as far as online opinion pieces, online sort of edits that are sort of very clearly, opinion based or that kind of thing. I should base my, if I want to include that in the first place, I should sort of base my research all on original sourcing and then sort of go through and add, okay, this person, this online comment feels this way, include that. This person feels this way, include that. That's sort of my conclusion from the matter. I think that's kind of, but that was my intention with that, is showing, online commentary and online clips. A lot of times when I included this person, it's not like, this is what happened. I mean, at least that's what I hope it was. I mean, I can look through and do a, 100% review, but it's like, okay, this is the commentary happening online,
So, I want to finish this because I just want to finish this video. This one here with the Star David tattoos.
Jessica Klein reposted comparing a keffiyeh to a swastika.
I mean, clearly people were very supportive because it had a lot of likes and it did well on the subreddit.
I don't know what my sister retweeted. I find it weird that they're including what my sister does on social media.
To see people are encouraging,
I think that's going on.
not backing down and embracing your identity.
Yeah.
Someone now got a worse tattoo than Ethan. I mean, that's kind of funny. It is also racist.
Can I ask something?
I just want to finish the clip.
Could have gotten this tattoo at any time, but chose to. Yeah, of course. Of course, you get a tattoo when you feel like you want to express pride in your heritage. Now's the best time to do it. I would absolutely do it too.
The fuck is this?
I don't even.
Branded satellite shows Star David carved into Gaza.
Of a different way to do it.
I mean, it's none of your.
What's that have to do with
your business when I want to do a tattoo of my heritage? How is that anything that you should even have an opinion on? Yeah, I'm changed after October 7th. That was a really traumatic moment for all of us Jewish people.
Congrats on the tattoo. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, if you go to the comments, I miss when Hila didn't talk. Racist, lol. I'm so embarrassed I ever watched them. Being Jewish is not a race. That's, by the way, not true. And also, another Nazi talking point. The line's not being straight. I mean, whatever. It was hand-drawn. Everything she goes through equals Vanilla Mace not liking her fashion brand. Hila Klein, please tell us what the blue signifies. The star, it signifies the color that the Star of David is, like in art, traditionally since like thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
A pentagram would have been more fitting. A pentagram. That's like, the Star of David is like the cross for Jews, right? It's the same type of thing. This person said she should have got a pentagram instead of the Star of David. Then you went on to write on this person's account that that you support them and you source them and you're a fan of their work. Do you disavow content crash out?
I mean, again, I don't agree with that particular video.
Our first ever. But like even someone who's capable of making such a video is clearly deeply unwell. Like to accuse a Jewish person of doing something wrong by getting a Star of David tattoo is just a symptom of someone who's deeply, deeply, deeply unwell. So I just do. I mean, this is not a good person, right? Like, I just, like, can you admit that?
I think that in general, I am still learning a lot about anti-Semitism. I've learned a lot within the past few days, speaking on the topic, I feel wildly uncomfortable. I am learning a lot about it.
This person is anti-Semitic, and take it from me as a Jewish person.
Even this statement alone is so incredibly frustrating, considering you just made an hours-long video about Ethan and I. We talk about anti-Semitism so much.
It's the reason why people hate us so much. It's the reason why
all of this is happening.
Can I offer? So I did write a little bit of something just because I feel like I don't want to misspeak or anything on this sort of subject. At least this is coming from my perspective. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. At least for me, the biggest lesson I learned from all of this is. Sorry, I'm gonna kind of read a little bit because I don't want to misspeak at all.
Yeah.
So if I care about advocating for anyone, whether it's someone is facing Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia, homophobia, anything at all, it's to extensively read up on the current state of affairs and what they're currently facing. It's not just using a blanket term like stop Islamophobia, don't be anti-Semitic. But so that I can offer in detail understanding of what an individual is currently facing and how that may translate in various ways. I think that in general, as a content creator, I wanted to, to be completely honest, it's a really intimidating topic to jump into for obvious reasons, all of this. And especially, as we can see with everything that happened after releasing the video and just not being versed in it, not having a cultural background or understanding, not being Palestinian and not being someone who's, extensively versed, but wanting very, very deeply to advocate for Palestinians and everything that they're going through, I feel like there's many ways that I misstep along the way. But I think that being able to do that, really, okay, I want to advocate for these people. What are they currently facing today? How can I, really offer in-depth dialogue to that so that can kind of combine research and empathy, I know Dan sort of spoke about how I misuse empathy or sort of, use that as a blanket term. And I think that's maybe one of the ways that I can do that better, instead of just being at the beginning of the H3 video, any anti-Semitism will not be tolerated. And, speaking about Islamophobia, but not very, very much in-depth understanding how that's translating in modern day currently. So I think that when all of this happened and I made my follow-up video, I was feeling very hurt and confused by, essentially being thrown the label of being anti-Semitic. I think that, of course I can't, a lot of that's coming from my own ignorance and my own lack of depth and knowledge and, not being a Jewish individual, not growing up in that. I grew up with no religion, no religious background. My dad was raised Jehovah's Witness. My mom was raised strict Catholic, and they both kind of decided to raise me without any religion. I've heard a lot of horror stories from my dad about his particular family and his particular upbringing in Jehovah's Witness. And so from that, I also have my own preconceived notions of, just a lot of religions in general, which may not be fairly placed all the time. But yeah, I don't want to speak for others, but I think that there's a lot of people that do want to criticize the Israeli government and their actions, but feel lost on how to do so without being labeled anti-Semitic.
That statement on itself. You said that about me.
And about,
in fact,
am
I have the clip
Israeli government?
I had a real issue with that statement.
I mean, is it okay if I finish really quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I know it's kind of long.
You're good. I didn't realize you were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, there were a lot of people that there were some really kind people who sent me messages educating me on either side and things that I got wrong on either side of the situation. Which of course it should have been my job to do in the first place, but one thing I learned a lot about is the dual loyalty trope, and where it's seen as anti-Semitic to scrutinize someone's connection to Israel. And I can see that because it's a holy place for many Jewish individuals. That being said, I think a lot of people who, at least for me, that was, I don't want to talk about my personal life or anything, but even being around Jewish individuals, that was not something that was ever told to me or taught to me. Not that, again, that is anyone's job to teach anything to me. But so, again, trying to navigate this current climate and trying to sort of raise awareness, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide, I unknowingly bumped up against that and, again, spoke about that in a wrong way. If I was aware of that, I would have never spoke about that, just because I care about, not being anti-Semitic, and I care about that. I don't know about
That's good.
Others, but I do think that there's a lot of people who are pro-Palestine who are kind of maybe in the same boat as me, who aren't aware of that, and then are being kind of being told that they're anti-Semitism and maybe put on the defense because of that, and aren't aware that there's particular nuance to this conversation, maybe.
Well, one side clearly gets a lot more defense and explanation online than the other. but specifically, I'm going to play this clip because I felt the way that you said this was interesting.
I am most hurt about the claims of anti-Semitism. As I've mentioned time and time again, I'm just not well versed in politics. I would really like to understand how one can be pro-Palestine, speak about the disagreements they have with the Israeli government, and still not be seen as anti-Semitic.
No, I called you anti-Semitic for one very specific statement you made. It had nothing to do with Israel. Nothing. You conjuring that image to people is really fucked up. Because people use it, but hold on, there's more.
The ways in which Ethan talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible. A lot of that,
you say,
likely due to October 7th, and essentially Ethan having an intense cognitive dissonance.
Reminder: she started this off by saying, "I'm way out of my depth with this."
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have.
I'm very curious to hear this.
Now she's going to lecture me, right? About my reaction.
Yeah.
To October 7th.
Him being, living in Israel, upholding these, Israeli values.
What are they?
Israeli values. Go on.
And ideals that have been sort of programmed into him from when he was born.
Okay, you're a Nazi.
When he was
born?
Like
a fucking.
He wasn't born.
I first of all, I don't think you're a Nazi, right? I'll amend that because I was being hyperbolic. What I meant is you're saying stuff that Nazis say. And obviously, I also fully acknowledge that you don't know that what you're saying is anti-Semitic, right? Like, totally agree with you there. And I know you already addressed this stuff. You kind of already rolled this stuff back, which is good. The part that I wanted to ask you about.
Talks about the issues. He makes it seem like that's not possible.
How did I make it seem not possible to talk about Israel without being accused of being anti-Semitic? Because I never one time brought up anything being anti-Israel being an issue. The only thing I brought up is that statement you just saw, which had nothing to do with Israel. So, like, why even say that? Because that's an extremely popular trope that you'll hear. Is that you Jews are like perpetual victims, and they call you anti-Semitic for any old reason, no matter what. I criticize Israel, they call me anti-Semitic. I'm constantly seeing Jewish voices being marginalized for saying that, right? But here's the interesting thing is I didn't even come close to saying anything like that, and you still said it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I watched the full live and genuinely was trying to understand, okay, where did I go wrong? Like what was, anti-Semitic? And again, it's not necessarily your job to educate me, but I was, trying to understand how can I, criticize Israel, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide, and
it's not that complicated though, is it? It's really not.
I guess, and I would like to hear your perspective.
I think
again, like I said, I did, receive some, to be honest, I received after that live mass comments, messages. Sorry, I fucking hate when I get emotional.
You can take a moment. It's okay. It's emotional. I understand you care about being on the right side of things, right? So I 100%, I understand, and I know this is painful.
Mass amount of people calling me a Nazi, and
that's not true, by the way. And I don't want people to call her a Nazi. Okay.
And so, I was trying to understand sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not trying to
It's fine. No, I know. It's sincere.
It's fine. We're all just people here, and
so genuinely, here I'm acknowledging I'm not the I'm trying to be more educated, grow. I'm starting from ground zero, and I think I'm hoping that a lot of at the very least, a lot of content creators can learn from my mistakes, when speaking about this, and be able to, be pro-Palestine, talk about the genocide, and not be anti-Semitic. And how do you not, run into that, coming from an ignorant place of someone who's, not Jewish and didn't know about these things. And so, essentially, genuinely, I had so many messages calling me a Nazi, calling me anti-Semitic, but no one telling me why. Even the program from birth, they would say that's anti-Semitic, but I didn't, weren't exactly explaining why they saw that way, or not. Sorry, didn't saw that way, but why that was an anti-Semitic trope, and so I was trying to understand it, and it wasn't until literally yesterday I had a great conversation with someone over DMs, and they sent me resources to, the dual loyalty trope, and I read into it, that I was able to understand that aspect. And, of course, someone who's more politically educated than me can debate all of these different intricacies. But for me, when I'm speaking about this, my biggest goal is to, I never want to hurt anyone, and
I will say I 100% am with you, right? And I think it's brave that you're calling it and facing all this stuff head on. I don't think most people would do that, right? So I am very grateful that you are coming here and having an honest conversation. And I appreciate the emotion you're showing, right? I do. And I do think, I want to just reaffirm that you should be criticizing Israel's government, right? You should be criticizing them for this fucking horrific genocide, mass murder of people in Gaza, right? You should be. It's just, don't make broad generalizations about Jews. Being born with some preconceived notions about the state of Israel and stuff like that, right? Don't say that Jews are programmed from birth, but you absolutely are right to and should criticize the state of Israel, right? 100%, no question about it. So I mean, your intent. I feel I understand your intentions, right? I do. And that's kind of the only way I can.
What's been hard for me, for example, is that I do criticize the government of Israel. We've said many times, when we lived there, I did not vote for Bibi. I'm not a right-wing Israeli, I'm a left-wing. So, I'm on your camp, but people still villainize me. If you go on TikTok, I'm the villain. I'm the raider of Ramallah. Mm-hmm. It's that is anti-Semitism. You're not seeing me as a person.
Do you see how easy you fell into like anti-Semitic tropes? Like it's just so easy when you run in these communities because it's like for them that's just they really are fucking racist. Like they really are. Like these snarkers are really genuinely just racist, right? And I mean you've seen it with the content crash out guy. Like you see these people like, oh, you do great research, you have all these videos on him, you've done all this, but like the subtext as a Jewish person looking at that, even just scrolling through the page, it's like this person does not like Jewish people, and so it's. I find it troubling how easy it is to fall into that these days, and someone like you who has good intentions, would never want to, participate in such a thing, can fall victim to these fucking insane narratives that you find on places like Snark.
Again, like I don't want to talk about anyone else's page or condemn them just because I don't feel comfortable with that. I can, again, and I'm learning about anti-Semitism still, but I can see where I went wrong in my video, and in my original video, I spoke about, at least, again, I don't want to misquote myself, or anything like that, but, I don't deny that there's an increase in anti-Semitism happening, just like there's an increase in Islamophobia happening.
Why do you have to mention Islamophobia whenever you bring up anti-Semitism? Why?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be like honest on what I see personally happening, but again, this is from my perspective, my algorithm. I do think, there's a huge danger happening. This is, talking about. Sorry, I keep moving the mic. Talking about, this kind of fear of echo chambers and how they're getting worse and worse and these personalized algorithms. I have been getting more and more afraid of my own content sort of, that I'm in an echo chamber and that my own content is reflecting that.
Do you think that Snark subreddit is an echo chamber?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just like anything, just like, to be honest, just like your subreddit as well,
I mean,
I think that
it is,
all of those are tailored.
It is an echo chamber. I wouldn't think it's as much as ours. It's not. But the thing is, I don't have I love researching in my, my profile description. And like if somebody was trying to make a video, and only sourced it from our subreddit, I would say you need more sources on that.
I would love to do like a compilation of, how much I sourced from this versus that and, all of that, because, and maybe that would cause me to reflect on myself, because again, sometimes I'll just go into this rabbit hole and unintentionally that's what will come out. But sorry, my intention was to find online commentary, like I've said again. Sorry, now I've sort of forgot my train of thought. But so my worry is that I'm in an echo chamber as well. So I've been kind of thinking of covering essentially this like series called Internet Archive, where I go into situations that have happened in the past online, or influencers, kind of. Not influencers of the past, but you get what I mean, where it's not as highly debatable. It's not sort of in the now where you're shoved into, in a certain algorithm or a certain echo chamber. It's sort of like the situations are less debated, essentially, of what's taken place. I feel like that might at least help me, or just people in general, like get out of that a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping to cover sort of moving forward as well. Again, just reflecting on everything. I have been thinking about that for, the past few months in general. I was thinking, I forgot how that sort of relates into all of this. Sorry, just a random thought.
I was asking how, why is it that when you talk about anti-Semitism, you feel the need to also mention Islamophobia?
Oh. Yeah. So I was going to talk, again, my personal viewpoint and what I've seen, to be honest, I kind of feel like Islamophobia in America particularly, is really bad, especially since, 9/11 and everything. Obviously that's fucked up what happened. That was terrorism. I don't want to say, excuse that wasn't. But I think that a lot of Americans have been really fucked up in terms of, being really racist towards Muslim individuals.
I think historically that's true, but
yeah.
For example, if you go to FBI crime stats for this year, Jews who make up like 2% of the population account for like almost 30% of all hate crimes. Like per capita, by far, Jews are the biggest victims of hate crimes by far, right? By far. And again, I don't say that to demean the racism against one other person, but the fact that you can't even mention anti-Semitism without invoking Islamophobia it feels to me when people do that it's like, yeah, it's bad. But also Jews somehow, for some reason, are. I also have to mention that people hate Jews, but also, the Jews also kind of, with saying that Islamophobia is also a big deal. So let's just be
it's hard.
balanced.
It's like everything is personal perspective, right? I mean, even, literally right before this stream, I was seeing a ton of videos about Sudan and the what's it called? Like satellite images of,
the blood
on the streets and so it's like, and I think that so many Americans have been completely tuned out to everything that's happening over there just because we're, very focused on what's happening over here. And so, and again, like I said, because of my perspective, I'm always going to have a limited worldview and I have to be extremely cognizant of that. And I think that, it's like I think that sometimes running into situations like this where you're introduced to a broader audience who's going to really tell you like it is, sometimes that's okay, because you really learn where your flaws are, and where you need to get better. Obviously the harsher situations that I discussed on this call, wish those didn't happen, but in that process, but also, the kinder criticism, the harsher criticism, but that's more valid, I think all of that was really essential in terms of learning and getting better as a content creator.
There's something else I want to show you that I felt was hurtful, and here it is. It's your continued insistence that I'm paranoid, that people are out to get me, which you say simultaneously while editing out a swastika hilt brandished by iDubbbz, my former friend. So how is that paranoid, right? Like you say, paranoid implies.
Yeah. So
and once again, this is another trope that, you see anti-Semitism everywhere, but actually you're hallucinating, which is something that iDubbbz and Hassan have both lectured me on. Non-Jews, white cis dudes lecturing marginalized voices on how they should feel about the racism and the shit that they're facing, right? How can you say I'm being paranoid while also acknowledging the anti-Semitism that I face? It's just it's very hurtful.
Well, first off, I want to say that's that sounds like conversations or an argument that is with other individuals. That's not a conversation or argument that I was intending to make. Sorry, I'm getting
about which one?
The sort of the conversations or arguments that you've had with Hassan or iDubbbz or Ian.
Well, you edited out the swastika. Why did you do that?
Yeah, can I say why I did that? So obviously, I speak about censorship on YouTube and all of that, but why I edited out the swastika is because I don't agree with it. I talk about how I.
But then, how can you accuse me of being paranoid?
Video too far. Did I do that in the same breath?
Many times. Here it is.
Because of his ties to Israel, but his decreasing capacity to view the other side.
That
the
was
walls
not in
were
the
closing in on him.
part,
His paranoia, and all of a sudden,
say.
if you weren't with him, you were against him.
Listen, if you disagree with me, you're just not looking.
You're not showing what I'm talking about. It's not even. There's like. I'm not just talking about myself. I'm sure I'm talking about something
At least
specific.
Not in this place as I am. This is what I see happening. People,
this was right after October 7.
Okay, that I can concede with you in the fact that you're talking about anti-Semitism, and I'm sort of
calling me paranoid.
Again, someone who's
this was right after October 7. That's us talking right after October 7.
Yeah, that being said, I do
that's
think
following the paranoia.
And I'll
do you know what happened on October 7th?
We were living it still because my family lives there.
Do you think Hamas was? Do you think Hamas are terrorists?
Yeah, I say that in the video.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's an important concession. I appreciate that.
But as far as what was I going to say? And you know, and that's also my perspective. Again, it feels weird saying my perspective of you as I'm talking to you. You know, but you know, listening to your account of things. You know, you met your wife in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had your birthright trip when you were speaking about being at sort of having a lot of difficulties in college. I can see the emotional ties that you have, and after
and my
after.
wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I
having
lived there. My
members,
wife is Israeli. It's really that.
Yeah, and having family members there and everything,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
and so after October 7th, that sort of toll that can take more than people
what
who are
happened?
completely removed from the situation.
You know what happened? It was the middle of the night, and I heard Hila on her phone. She was listening to Israeli news stations. Families were calling into the news stations live from their shelters, begging for help as they were being burned alive in their houses with their children, and nobody could help them. They were actually in their safe rooms, being murdered in front of their children, being burned alive. You know what I mean? Being fucking slaughtered in front of their children, losing limbs. This was happening live.
There were things being live streamed. Like
they were calling into news.
Being murdered, live streamed.
Oh yeah, did you know that Hamas members would slaughter? They would slaughter people and then post it on their they take their phone and post it on their Facebook page, their dead body. But all this was happening live, and nobody was there to help them, right? So we were just we were just listening. It was like a whole day. We were just listening to people calling into the news, begging for help shortly before being executed.
Girls at the Nova were calling while they're hiding in a bush, whispering, and then nobody came because everybody's been slaughtered. Everybody's been killed. The reason why this has become such a, we became the villain, all we're asking is for people to understand that the Israeli civilians are also innocent. Just care about the Israelis. Just say that rapes happened. It's okay to acknowledge that there are victims in Israel too. That is all we're asking for. I'm not a representative of Bibi. I'm not Israel government. It's just insane.
It feels bad, right? It feels bad.
I mean, of course. I think that the hardest thing is, as I've spoken about in the video, my brother passed on October 3rd. So when all of this was happening, it was like,
That's horrible. I'm sorry.
To be honest, horrible. I was completely. It's fine. But it was a sort of weird thing where he drowned in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
That's awful.
That's awful.
It's fine, but it's like he was 20 years old.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But it's just like. So anyways, not to distract from all that conversation, but just to say,
I can understand you were distracted, yeah.
To say and so, and then all of a sudden, to be honest, you can see in my content, I lost 30 pounds from grief and everything. And sorry. It was just weird. It was this tunnel of grief and everything, but I still kind of kept going with just the bare thing, basics of function in terms of what I needed to do to, be there for my kid, for my family, just all of that. And and so kind of coming back and seeing everything that had happened, in Palestine, Israel, just everything that was taking place. Obviously, I heard about October 7th, but the picture that I see is different. It's changed. And obviously Free Palestine is a huge movement at that point. And I can empathize as to why by that point. I see Palestinians getting slaughtered and I see streets getting leveled. And, And so, it's that's sort of the perspective that I had coming into it. And, and then you see these videos that are just horrific, of a toddler just the same age as my kid, and being dead on the street. And so, it's like, again, this is a thing that war is just the most fucked up thing. And I wasn't raised in a religion where I can, where I understand that sort of historical context, behind it. And I also don't have a tie to any sort of, any situation. And so I'm trying to navigate it, but, that's my perspective behind all of it.
And I think the problem or the frustration is that we agree, right? That the images coming out of there are unbearable. It's just so tragic. Yeah. It's such a you can't even fathom the scale of loss and suffering and tragedy that's taken place in there, right? And this is not like Hamas. These are just like fucking regular people, and it tears me up too. I feel the same pain. I do.
I saw that clip of you, crying over, I think it was a father and his son, and being a father as well. And I empathize with you there.
I can't watch it because it's so devastating. It's so devastating to see that stuff. And I guess it's just when I go all over the internet and everybody's calling me a Zionist, right? And everybody's saying, you support genocide, you want to kill babies. I mean, it's just not true. And it's just such an awful thing to say about somebody, and how am I not supposed to feel like prejudiced against when that's the conclusion? When I've been saying the opposite since before October 7th, right? But there's justification.
Perspective-wise, what's your? I mean, genuinely, we're having this conversation and everything. What's your outlook on everything that's happening? How do you see things going? Again, I don't know shit, but you've been covering it more than me. I'd like to hear kind of.
It's a fucking insane quagmire. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The best outcome I see is like Hamas leaving, right? And then a joint effort from Arab countries, America, Europe, who are willing to invest a shitload of money in rebuilding the infrastructure, bringing it back into a place that
can prosper.
That's respectful. Yeah, could prosper and respectable. Rebuild it in a beautiful place, not a hotel for Trump, obviously. Like this could be, by the UN, by the Arab League involved in making decisions in terms of like what's the best way to rebuild Gaza. That's the best way I see it. But like honestly, there's no good solution. What do you think should
happen to the Palestinian people?
They should be free. They should get their own state. They should be free. Absolutely. Right?
Yeah. And
I mean, there's no question about it.
I wish for them that they wouldn't have to live under Hamas because they don't care for them. I wish that they can be free people and just prosper.
Yeah, and by the way, these settlers taking land in the West Bank and the government co-signing that is... I have trouble expressing how vile these people are. I'll say this. I've said this before, and I'll just say it again so for the record. I've said that West Bank settlers are valid military targets, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, okay. That's good to know. I mean, that was something that I thought was a really fascinating, again, limited, understanding. I did really like listening to the Throughline podcast, and that was one episode on settlements that I found really interesting. Again,
they're just evil. I mean, these people are just evil. They're just like Hamas, but for fucking Jewish supremacy, right? That's what they're doing. It's just evil. So and I've always had that. It's funny if you go back to these 15-year-old accounts that everybody calls me a pedophile for. there's comments in that account of me saying I don't support West Bank settlers and that I believe in Palestinian statehood and like these are opinions that I've been expressing consistently since the beginning of any footprint I have on the internet. You know, so it's just been a wild thing, man, to see how I've been treated in the wake of all this happening. You know, and it was in a private account too that I never thought anybody would ever read. I had no reason to ever like exaggerate my support for Palestine, which is what people accuse me of, by the way. They just say I'm lying. It's like there's no winning, right? There's no winning. And this is, you know, and this is the kind of what.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in some of this situation, maybe I feel like that's, you know, some of my statements have been taken that way too, and I think, you know, it's like, you know, there's a middle ground, you know, there's people where that happens on the really extreme end. There's people that are treated really well online and are just beloved by everyone. And then there's sort of a middle ground where it's like being online, you know, sometimes just what you say is going to be taken out of context. I do think, again, this is just my personal opinion. Take it as you may. Sometimes the more you, you know, engage with that, sometimes the worse it can get, you know, the more attention you bring to it, the more it happens, etc. You know, that's my personal opinion.
This is on a scale that you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You've seen it on TikTok. You've seen it on Twitter.
That also might
You've
be
seen it on Reddit.
Privilege.
You've seen it on FOMOI, by the way. You know, there's crossover between FOMOI and H3 Snarkers. Same mods. Same mods, right? And this is a fucking subreddit supposed to talk about like popular media celebrities, and they're posting about me all fucking day saying I'm pro-genocide with 30,000 points on the front page of Reddit, right? Like this isn't in a situation where I can ignore it and just go on with my life, unfortunately.
And, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, some of this might be my privilege as well, you know, as a content creator. You know, I was you know, again, I've had some incredible conversations with various content creators over the past week, and a lot of it's been really enlightening in terms of just, you know, lessons learned, you know, and one of which was a Black woman who's been speaking with me about just over her years as a content creator, the amount of harassment she's gotten, you know, in terms of just, you know, one day she'll lose 5,000 subscribers, the amount of, you know, people calling her slurs and messages and comments. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, honestly, you know, that's not something that I've had to face in the scope of my
and just to
career,
kind of bring it, to try to make it tangible for you, you co-signed a TikTok account that compared Hila's Star David tattoo to a pentagram.
No, and that, you know, again, something, you know, I'll look into moving forward is the full scope of, you know, someone's account. That being said, like I said,
did you know you sourced content crash out 9 different times? That's like a significant amount of times. 9 times.
How many sources in total? How many clips in total do I have on the channel? You know,
I'm sure it's a lot, but my point is that 9 times is a significant amount of times to source.
Also, like, my question would be for that is that like the same? Because, for example, in the intro, I can sometimes like, oh, here's what's to come, you know, so I might clip something and then that'll be the same clip that's used later on. Is that, you know, counted?
I'm not sure how it was counted, to be fair. So honestly, we've been talking for a long time and I'm very grateful for your time. There's one more thing I want to watch and then we can kind of just wrap
that
it.
Being said, I do want to say too, we were going to mention the content cop where I do mention, I kind of say, you know, to be fair, I definitely think iDubbbz's approach, claiming to be a concerned friend who recently learned the concept of empathy while dancing around in a goofy way, well, it definitely sends mixed messaging. You know, like I mean,
that's like
Yeah.
That's an attempt at being biased. I think that's an extraordinarily understatement. I mean, from my perspective.
Yeah, but where you're talking about.
But yeah, you're making an attempt,
or kind of seeing your side.
No, I appreciate you said that. That was good that you said that. I appreciate that.
I want to interject and say that, because again, I
appreciate that.
This idea that I never reached out and tried to see your side or your perspective. There's certainly times that I did that. You know?
It's fair. I appreciate you pointing that out, and I agree in that case that was good. So I just want to watch this one more thing.
Ethan streamed an episode stating a child welfare visit was called in from people who worked at his house. He then blamed anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence. So let's talk about
manipulated evidence. What is that?
Oh, CPS.
You didn't show anything.
Yeah, let me go to the actual.
I know what you're talking about, but you pull up the source, and then we can respond to that.
Yeah,
you're referring to that clip of Denims talking to Bad Empanada.
Okay, what chapter is that? Sorry, let me.
Oh, I'm just referencing. I'm guessing, right, from my mind. We can wait and pull it up though.
Okay. Sorry, just because it's like 48 pages. Let me. Okay, so this is page 43, I want to say. So I am.
Could someone pass that link?
Mm-hmm. So I think this is where I'm referencing in general the sort of master post from that, that snark, and then it goes into the alleged CPS involvement, which is their like number 2 on their,
Well, hold on. You said
list.
You said I used doctored evidence to blame them.
Mm-hmm. So that was on their list. So they,
you didn't even bother to reference that or like to fact check
that.
But
I should make that really clear. So then I go into right after that. I have a post from the Tribune that goes into the CPS and the skulls and everything. So,
but do you see how you're setting the audience expectations when you go
users for the call with manipulated evidence?
Manipulated evidence. I mean, the expectation you're setting for the audience already is that I'm somehow acting in bad faith in this whole thing, right?
I could see how I could structure it differently. Essentially, what I was doing with that is, if you kind of zoom out a little bit further, I'm reading from this like Reddit master post about their, concerns. Do
you think the audience cares? They make that distinction?
4 different posts. Again, like I said, I could structure it differently. And so this is, number 2 on their, concern list. So this is, kind of quoted directly from them. Again, on screen, how it could be potentially edited differently is, again, just showing the post itself, and, highlighted, showing that this is, a quote from them, not a quote from me. Again, moving forward, scaling down to ensure that what's being shown on screen aligns with that, my intentions. Yeah, but
you did,
but
by
then
the way,
afterwards,
just because we're counting, you sourced snark 66 times in the video.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of, again, how many times is that, just an opinion, that I'm sharing? How many times is that a clip?
Right. My guess is that it's mostly editorialized clips, like probably the vast majority of them.
Mm-hmm. And compared to how many times there's YouTube videos from your actual videos themselves, I would love to know that information in terms of we
could crunch numbers.
I would love to, even just for my own criticisms, like, okay, let me actually see those numbers. Cause I do think, again, going down these rabbit holes, I can go into online forums and like really look through them and be like, okay, let me include that. That's relevant here. Let me include that. And, that's not, again, like I said, moving forward, I won't be doing that method. I'll be okay. Let me go through the original sources. And then if I want to go into online forums and provide certain opinion pieces, it's after the research is done and my sort of conclusion on the situation is done. Or if I happen to find a clip from an online forum, let me ensure that I can find the original clip so I can see in its full context, just in case, you know.
Okay, so regardless, you say based on this thread from Snark that I've faked evidence, even though you don't know what it is that I faked.
So right after that, so again, that's the, Snark quote, but right after that, I go into a article by the Tribune.
Yeah,
and
I'll play
worked
that.
at his house.
You mean in the video?
Yeah, and
I'll
you
play
can
it, I'll
see,
play it.
Then
you can
blamed
see in
anonymous
the
users for the
research
call
itself
with
as well.
manipulated evidence. So let's talk about CPS being called on Ethan Klein, as stated in this mega thread. In March of 2025, Child Protective Services visited the Klein's home, and Ethan Klein claimed he received skulls in the mail, human skulls.
So they sent us these skulls that are expensive and no one paid for them. And then we're like, well, I'm keeping them because I want them for evidence in case I ever need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then they start calling us after a month, like begging us to return the skulls.
We found at first we were just kind of like, are these people serious? And also we weren't sure if the FBI was going to like ask for it for evidence or whatever.
The situation began in early March when CPS arrived after an anonymous tip claimed his child was crawling around and eating dog feces. Ethan Klein claimed that this claim has come from streamers who had spread the rumor that Ethan Klein's children had contracted Giardia. Then, around that time, the family received 2 unidentified human skulls, allegedly by mail, which prompted an FBI investigation. And of course, probably does not help with Ethan Klein's paranoia that people are out to get him.
The paranoia thing is like,
I know.
I got a human skulls in the mail. I mean, can you really?
Again,
CPS come to my house. I got human skulls. I mean, at what point do we stop calling me paranoid?
And also, again, to be honest, with the people finding my aunt's photo, which by the way, also girl with a microphone apparently tweeted asking an AI. Let me find the actual tweet, so I don't again misquote it. Asking Grok if I was homeschooled, and then like they brought up random Madison Harnish and what high school they go to,
Grok
and then
knew
she
that?
asked,
Jesus.
and then she asked Madison Harnish, aka Cruel World Happy Mind, was she homeschooled? And then they say, got it. You mean the YouTuber Madison Harnish of Cruel World Happy Mind. After checking bios, videos, and searches, I found no info indicating she was homeschooled. Her education background isn't publicly detailed. If that's wrong, point me to a source. Like trying to find my schooling information.
To be fair, I don't think that's
that.
what she was trying to do. I think she was just trying to find out if you were homeschooled.
Yeah, you know how it kind of looks, though.
But like you would type something like that into. I know what you're saying, and I don't want to go anywhere close to doxing. I know she's thoughtful with her the way she conducts herself, though. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't her intention.
Yeah, it just it looks it rubs me the wrong way, to be honest.
I can understand why that would rub you the wrong way. Yeah.
But yeah, so some of those things, my aunt's photos being dug through, stuff like that. People trying to find information about my husband. It's like,
that's
I totally, I've been more paranoid in this past week than I've been in my entire life. So I understand that feeling. Again,
By the way, the homeschool thing, maybe it sounds weirder to you. There's kind of like a joke that we do on the show where we go, like the last 2 people I've beefed with, quote unquote, were all homeschooled. So it kind of turned into a joke, like, is this person homeschooled? So I think she was tapping into that.
To be completely transparent, I grew up doing like really, really intense ballet. I was like, basically like dancing 6 hours a day. So I did online school, dual school. So, I don't know if that applies,
So she was spitting.
It was like one of the first, programs in my area that like had online school.
Yeah, I think it's
where I met my husband. So,
You met your husband at homeschool?
Well, so we actually met in middle school, and I thought he was super interesting because he would like ride his bike every day, and it was in Orange County where everyone has like their moms drive them to school in Escalades, and he would ride his bike every day, and I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It turns out he would ride his bike 9 miles every day to school and back, and then we both ended up being the only two to graduate high school from our dual online school program.
Oh my
Wasn't
God.
Very, successful program, it seems like.
Look at you
from
two,
that.
born natural partners.
And so, or just, the only ones that knew how to like use Google on test online school. No, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. Don't take away my online degree. That's very important to me. But anyways, that's how we met, and we went to online school for very different reasons. I was a ballet dancer, and his is his own personal story.
You might get comfort in this, but the current debate happening in our community is which stain is more annoying, the one on your sofa or the one on my hat? And I'll tell you guys, to defend myself a little bit, the one on my hat is from.
What is it?
What is it from?
Show it to me.
Yeah.
Something to do with the kids.
I'll say.
What did I have read on my?
Yours is a lot more annoying, Ethan.
It is?
Yeah, because I can't even see hers
Someone
anymore.
bring me a replacement
Yours
hat.
is front and center.
You guys were fucking harping on her stain, and I'm the one sitting here looking like
I didn't
Mr.
mind her
Stain.
I didn't even notice her stain. I was staring at your stain.
Yeah, I didn't mind hers.
Thank you, Tamara. Legend.
I didn't notice your stain until this point, until you just pointed it out. I was
You
too
saw
busy.
it the whole
I
time.
didn't notice any
You were
stain.
plotting on me the whole time. No, what is that red from?
Oh, it's
Seriously.
from the clown makeup.
Oh,
It's
the
from
clown
Friday.
makeup that
Yeah.
you graciously used in your thumbnail.
I'll be honest, I have no idea where my stain came from. So
Well, it was
probably worse.
Yes, true. Who knows? It could be from anything. Listen,
But,
there's.
oh yeah, what was I gonna say? I totally forgot what we were talking. Oh yeah, so as far as like the paranoia thing went, I mean, literally, I just was trying to. I mean, again, hope I'm not overstepping here. I don't think it's healthy for you to be getting into these online beefs and to be going down these, rabbit holes with different people, because I've felt that myself. Genuinely, within this past week, I felt like. This is a very dark
Listen,
corner of the
is Coke
internet.
Zero healthy? No, but I drink 10 of them a day.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm just being silly.
And that's.
I don't
that's
actually,
just, like,
for the
my
record,
opinion.
drink 10 a day. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
One, two,
yeah.
6. Not 6.
I used to drink like 3 yerba mates a day. Those like energy drinks. So, but yeah, what was I gonna say? I mean. Genuinely, that's the thing. It feels like a very dark, corner where it's like the more you get involved with these situations, it's like the more it brings out like these different, situations and darkness and people. Oops, sorry. And then it sort of like ruins your like faith in humanity a little bit, I'm not saying you specifically.
No,
I'm just
I know,
saying like
yeah.
in general, know, and I think right now, like the world is so. Now here I'm gonna, this is gonna sound like the stupidest statement ever. The world is so fucked up. Like obviously it is, but like, yeah, that like, oh my gosh, these situations. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
One thing I will say about the.
I do genuinely wish that one day you're able to escape from all of this and not have, all of this happening in your life, and have, segments that, are just like, podcasts that are. I mean, again, I'm not a regular watcher of your podcast. You totally do this,
Yeah.
but the podcast shows that are just entirely lighthearted, where none of this
Me
is
too.
happening.
I know.
And,
Honestly,
that's-
we would
yeah.
love that too. This isn't like fun for us either.
And the thing is, like, I used to be of the mind that like ignoring it is better, and I'd say for most people that's true. The first time that wasn't working was ironically the FUPA Fund thing. Keemstar was spreading this malicious lie that I stole money to the point where it was just becoming bigger and bigger and not quieter and quieter. It forced me to make a video responding. And from that response, I killed the thing entirely. And this kind of similar thing's been happening, although I have the shitstorm is proven much more persistent than the FUPA shit. But it's kind of just been the same way, where it's like after Leftovers collapsed, it's just been a torrent of fucking horrific shit, and it's gotten like more severe and more strong, and to the point where it begs a response. And
I mean, I felt that way, you know, like when all of this happened and I'm like, oh, I need to make a response. And then, you know, you made your response for that. And so it's like, oh, and I agree with Dan. I should not have done a one take. I should have, you know, ensured that it was, you know, perfectly polished, you know, that was, you know, in general, irresponsible. I think I wanted to feel this sense of authenticity. But again, a lot of my, you know, ignorance showed through in that. But I think, you know, and then from that, I was like, oh, I need to do a stream to clarify this and to show where I agree and all of that. And then, you know, things get worse from there. And so it's like, I guess that's a struggle in general when it comes to content creations. When, you know, some of this happens, do you, sorry, I have the hiccups now. Do you respond? Do you let it lie? You know, how do you, you know, to what level do you, you know, because I think that, you know, going down endless rabbit holes, it's like you can't find your way back up sometimes. And that was my kind of perspective on that. And again, I'm sorry if I didn't clarify it fully or it didn't come through. I think that also, you know, when it comes to making content, I have to have that mind of like the people that are the subject of the videos are they will likely, maybe not, but likely, I just kind of assumed they're probably not going to watch the video, but I need to assume that they might watch it.
They'll watch it.
They'll probably
you should assume they'll watch it.
Yeah. They'll
Okay.
probably watch it.
I think I still have in my mind that I'm just
But
like
even if
this
they don't,
small
people,
content creator.
It still matters because people are watching it in this ecosystem, and shit that you say, people are going to believe. I saw a lot of people being like, you're a trusted source for them, and whatever you put in your videos, they believe. So, like, it doesn't really even matter if I watched it or not, right? Because if there is, anyway, listen, there's two things I want to hit on before we go. One, about the skulls in CPS. These are factually backed up. In our public filing right now, the lawsuit, you can see it's public filing. The conversation we had with the Skull Company and the report from CPS saying that the call was unfounded. These are all part of the public record. I can even send you a link. The second thing, and most important thing I want to say to you before we leave is, you know goddamn well that Hassan Piker shocked his dog.
No comment on that one. I'm
Come
so sorry.
That motherfucker zapped his poodle. Now, listen, I'm not saying he should get his dog taken away or anything crazy like that, but I mean, he definitely, you know.
Place.
You know, it's so funny because in my initial video, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna hate me for this. I'm so sorry to end the video on a bad note. Okay, in my initial video, I totally conceded with this, where I'm like, yeah, the clips don't look good, and you know, you know, and he changed his story a lot. And then as time went on, I'm kind of like, well, you know, it just over a long period of time of constantly having the dog in screen, you would think that there would be far more examples of that happening.
There's a ton.
There's
a ton.
There's a lot.
Dude, there's so many.
You clearly see him reaching for the remote.
Give me 5 minutes.
And then her react. Like,
hold on, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna convert you.
That's why this has lasted so long. It's because he's obviously lying and everybody's seeing it. And it's just, that's why this topic has been so fascinating to so many people.
The thing is, it really depends on what communities you run in. Because there are very pro Hassan communities who are like, he didn't do it. There's no way. We're all bullshit. And other communities, which are hostile to Hassan, my community, for example, is one of them. They'll post a shitload of evidence, man. Hold on, I gotta find. There's like I'm not forcing you to make a decision one way or the other, but I do want to arm you with the most important weapon of all: information.
Place.
Don't talk to her like that, Hassan.
No.
Sorry.
Place.
It's rude. I'm waiting for the link. I don't know if you heard this. This song was big.
I'll be completely honest. I have to go pee so bad though. I had like this whole thing of water like throughout this.
Oh, you have to pee? Okay. right, but listen. If you want to find the evidence, it's there.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can send you links. I won't hold you any longer. I'll send you links. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know this is essential information for me, but
Fair enough.
I'll be honest, it's been like the last 30 minutes.
We've been here for a long time.
I really appreciate you calling in and, facing this head on. I'm very grateful. I think you've been open-minded and sensitive to everything, which I'm grateful for. And so I'm just appreciative for your time and for you speaking openly about this, which most people would not do, right? So I think that speaks to high character that you're willing to do this.
Thank you.
And also,
thank you for speaking with me too, and being, I've honestly, I don't think I've ever had this in-depth of a conversation from, someone that I've made a video on, and I think it's given me a lot to think about when it comes to content creation, and that's an incredible opportunity on my end to reflect and, move forward with, a lot of this in mind. So
I also want to give you my condolences on that horrible, tragic loss of your brother. That's heartbreaking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Very sorry to hear about that.
But, a reminder that we're all dealing with shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I mean, I think we've said almost all of it.
Yeah.
And we're in touch now. So if anything comes up, if you have any questions about anti-Semitism, you want a snap check from a real, authentic Israeli Jew, you can ask me anything, anytime.
Sounds
all right?
great. I appreciate it.
But anyway, have a great night. And once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And guys, a reminder to our audience to be kind. This was a conversation we had in good faith with each other. And I think that alone deserves credit and kindness and understanding, so thank you. And to the audience, please heed my words. We come in peace. All right. Have a great night. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That is Madison of Cruel World Happy Mind.
I was hoping she would say have a good night.
Have a good night.
There was almost an okay Ethan in there.
There was like bets going on. Are we gonna get an okay?
Yeah, I got you. Anyway, listen, basically, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Which is really almost 6 because of the time change. So,
but are we doing something tomorrow?
We're coming here.
We're coming here tomorrow.
Because we have a visit, right?
We have a visit tomorrow? Oh, that.
An offline visit, not an online visit.
We'll talk. But essentially tomorrow, obviously it's Tuesday. We'll be back for members on Wednesday.
Yeah.
For everybody on Friday.
Yeah.
There's going to be VODs dropping.
Yeah.
Heads up, VODs incoming.
Yeah.
And go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. And go watch the Halloween video.
Can we still say go Doyers? It's over.
Go Dodgers next season.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers,
Hat
they
trick.
win.
Yeah. Congrats,
Hater. Anyway, and yeah, I am gratefully appreciated to Madison for calling in. And listen, she put herself in the line of fire, right?
Yeah.
So I respect that a lot.
True.
All right, go watch the Halloween video. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on next time.
Gotta stay in that little place for 8 hours. She getting up, I can't allow her. She my Palestine, I got the power. I'm in my electric ivory tower. Why she